drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply STOP to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom when you drive her back from therapy.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing, and in your new role, we help you help. AARP gives you the information to help care for your mom so that you can have patience with her, just like she did with you. Visit aarp.org/caregiving or call 1-877-333-5885 to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one.
Are we there yet?
Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP, we help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I liked things to always be the same. Anything new or different would scare and upset me. I was very sensitive to lights and sounds. It was almost like I had bigger eyes and ears than everyone else. So I built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. I didn't like looking people in the eye. It made me feel uncomfortable. I'd throw big tantrums over little things like when my socks didn't match. Sometimes I'd do the same things over and over. Until one day, I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
You can see signs of autism in children as young as 18 months. Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese.
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Do current market conditions have you nervous? Our experienced team of financial professionals at Heritage Harbor Financial Associates understands that no two investors are alike. We all have different goals, needs, and appetites for risk. That's why the one-size-fits-all approach does not work, especially when planning for retirement. At Heritage Harbor Financial Associates, we analyze your unique investment style so that you can work toward your individual retirement goals on your terms. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates can help you take steps to reach your retirement goals by providing a wide array of financial products to fit your needs, even for the risk adverse. Give us a call at 631-331-6599 to learn more or to set up an appointment with one of our financial professionals. You can also find us on the web at hhfa.org or on Facebook at facebook.com/hhfa.org. Our number again is 631-331-6599. That's 631-331-6599. Investments in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds and variable annuities are not FDIC insured and are subject to fluctuation in value and market risk, including loss of principal. Heritage Harbor Financial Associates offers securities through AXA Advisors, LLC, New York, New York. Member FINRA, SIPC. Annuity and insurance products offered through AXA Network, LLC.
Edward Lehman has been a trusted insurance advisor for over 16 years with insurance solutions for auto, home, commercial, life, and retirement. He's located at 54 Sunnyside Boulevard, Suite H in Plainview. That's just 1,000 feet south of 495. Local agent, local advice. The time to think about insurance is before you need it. So do yourself a favor, and before you pay your next insurance bill, give Ed and his team a call, 516-935-3900, or visit him online at www.allstate.com/EL. Edward H. Lehman Insurance is your trusted insurance advisor.
Be fearless at MMA Long Island and Seituha Karate. Located at 28 Colt Court in Ronkonkoma, MMA Long Island is the martial arts school for you if you want to learn combat-proven techniques, build confidence, discipline, and self-esteem while learning real martial arts to fight back against bullies, predators, and peer pressure. MMA Long Island offers group and private lessons for all ages and levels in traditional Goju-Ryu Karate, MMA, and self-defense. MMA Long Island is one of Long Island's most affordable martial arts schools. There are no promotion, belt, or membership fees, and family discounts are available. All classes are taught by 7th degree black belt Sensei John Benedict with over 30 years teaching experience. So whether you want to get in the ring or protect yourself and your family, MMA Long Island can help you reach your goals. Visit MMALongIsland.com. That's MMALongIsland.com, or call or text 516-381-9660. That's 516-381-9660.
Of course my kid's in the right car seat. Well, I think he is.
Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is ready, right?
Her car seat looks like the right size.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear facing, forward facing? I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
I know my child's in the right car seat, or else I wouldn't get in the driver's seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You don't usually get a stock tip from a 16-year-old, but I'm here to tell you about a different kind of stock. It's called Better Futures, a stock for social change that's not about making money. Instead, you invest to help students like me go to college. This is beyond a simple donation. It's the opportunity for America to invest in its kids and take an active stake in the future of the country. The return on your investment isn't money. What you get back is knowing you protected our potential. So one day, that potential can grow up to become surgeons and architects, executives and engineers, people who can change the future just by being a part of it. My name is Alicia, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
This is Nnamdi Asamoah. I play football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but what I do off the field with United Way might be more important. I'm a volunteer tutor and mentor. Why? Because over 1 million kids a year drop out of school, and that's not okay. It takes 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes about the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be me, or it could be you. Studies show that if we get to these kids earlier, their chances are better, and kids who read well by 3rd grade are more likely to graduate. So join me in United Way. Suit up and take the pledge. Become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, because when a child succeeds, we all succeed. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Take the pledge at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way, the Ad Council, and the National Football League.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
What are you talking about?
No, it's not him. There's only one more. There is only one more. That's it. One more.
Get her ass!
No!
They saw your team put up 0 effort.
Wake up!
Remember in the old days, they used to have oxygen for them. Where's the oxygen?
Play like absolute just garbage.
This is the Sports Loudmouths.
Yay!
Man, can you keep it down? I'm trying to introduce here. With Errol Marks, Speedy Petey, and Tyler Harrison.
You're not even a has-been. You're a never was. You're a never was. You're a never was. You're a never was. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And now with a new co-host, Mr. Tyler Harrison. As you know, I'm your host, Errol Marks. My co-host, obviously, Speedy PD, and now Tyler Harrison. Remember, you could call us at 631. Speedy, what is the number? 631?
631-672-3108.
And post that up on the thing so I can see that, so I can add, when we go to break, I can actually, that's our new number. So definitely, if you want to call the show, you can do that. You can call that number. You can go to our website at www.worldwidesportsradio.com and obviously download our app. If you haven't downloaded our app, you go to iOS, which is WWSRN, or Android, Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Yes, Snug, Tyler Harrison is now fully on the show. But before we get into our stories, by the way, we're going to get into a lot of different things today. We're going to get into Aaron Rodgers coming back. I'm not surprised that he is coming back for one more year. I do believe he'll be going somewhere else next year when his contract is up. Now, I did hear that Green Bay they have control of him, even though his contract will be up at the end of the season. But I think all in all, they're going to let him go. So we're going to get into the Aaron Rodgers situation, the DeShaun Watson sweepstakes, which we've been talking about the Eagles being the front runners and maybe even the Broncos, the two teams that are going to definitely be going after him now that Aaron Rodgers is off the list of quarterbacks that could be available. So we will get into that in just a few moments. So a lot of football. We'll get into the NBA draft tomorrow. The Knicks got 2 first-round draft picks. Do they move up to get the player of their choosing in the top 10? Some stories saying that the Knicks will do everything they can to move up. We will get into that in just a little while as well. We will get into the NHL, and free agency has opened up. There are stories coming out that Zach Parise and Paul Murray will re-sign with the Islanders, and the Islanders are bringing in Zach Parise, another Lou Lamoriello draft pick. So we will get into that in just a few moments as well, and a lot more. We'll get into baseball. Joey Gallo is now a New York Yankee. We will talk about what the Yankees had to give up to bring in Joey Gallo. So there's so much going on in sports. But first things first, over the last week, there's been back and forth banter between what we're going to do moving forward with this show. And over the last couple of weeks, me and Josh Silverberg have been sitting down and just trying to figure out if this is the right thing for him right now with his baby on the way. And obviously, he just got married about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, with his wife, Melissa, which they're two very special people in my life, and I have a lot of respect for both of them. But moving forward with our network, and obviously Josh is still going to be a part of the network. He's still over there with Off the Mat, and he's still going to be behind the scenes with the network and the shows. But moving forward, we needed to decide if Josh was the guy that was going to move forward with the Sports Loudmouths in the Weekend Crunch on the FM dial. And over the last 7 to 8 days, we kind of decided to part ways in that area. Now, there's no hard feelings with it. I have nothing against Josh. Josh is a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. I have a lot of respect for Josh Silverberg. But all in all, we needed to decide this more sooner than later with everything going on and some of the opportunities that we're going to have with Sports Loudmouths. So Josh actually reached out to me and told me that he wanted to part ways with this, and it was best for him and his family. And he said that he would think that Tyler would be a great fit moving forward with the show. And I was thinking the same thing. I had a conversation with Speedy, and we both decided to bring in a guy that banters, has his own personality, definitely has a mouth on him. And I think he would fit very, very well with this show moving forward. And that's why Tyler Harrison is now going to be a full-time guy on this show with me and Speedy Petey moving forward. We will have a new logo. Just like we have a new drop, we'll have a new logo with Tyler on it in the very near future, probably sometime next week. So it's going to be a new show, new personality on the show. So it's going to be very, very interesting moving forward. I know a lot of people miss Tyler, me being one of them. When Tyler decided at the end of everything, he had stuff going on in his life that he needed to give himself a break from this. I always wanted to bring Tyler back. It was just a matter of time on figuring out how he would fit. But after, Josh decided to part ways, and we both decided that Josh needed to move on with what he wanted to do with obviously off the mat and his family life. Tyler was the best fit for us. So I want to give a shout out to Joshua Silverberg. I have, again, nothing against him. He's still a part of the network. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I do, as a person, as a friend, as a confidant, everything. I just, he decided the best thing for him and the best thing for his family. And also, Josh was, he's a different personality. He didn't see eye to eye on some of the things that we were talking about. And that's fine. That's what happens. And like I said, I have nothing but my utmost respect for Josh. And he's still with our network, and moving forward, what we do with this network and where we're moving forward with this network, Josh is going to be a big part of it. He's just going to be a big part with Off the Mat. He will not be with the Sports Loudmouths, and he will not be with the Weekend Crunch. So I'm giving a shout out to Josh Silverberg, and Josh could actually be a special guest whenever he wants to come on the show. He knows that. If Tyler can't make a show, he can fill in, but Tyler will be the full-time co-host of this show moving forward with me and Speedy. So happy to have you, Tyler. So there you go. Anyways, I want to get into this Aaron Rodgers thing. And I will say this, all you Aaron Rodgers fans, and there are a ton of Aaron Rodgers fans out there. And I was, what do you mean, why?
Why?
What do you mean, why? You're not an Aaron Rodgers fan? You don't think Aaron Rodgers is good?
Quite frankly, he's overrated.
Overrated.
Go ahead.
We were talking about the MVP of the whole NFL. You're talking about the guy that was the best quarterback in the league, that had one player, one wide receiver that was in the top 5, and the rest of the wide receivers that weren't even the top 70, top 80 of the league's wide receiving core throughout the league. So I don't know why you would say he's okay.
Right.
He's
the offensive line stinks. His running
the
back
offensive
stinks.
line.
Right,
the offensive line. Who's on the offensive line this year? They lost their
top 5 tackle. He's
really
got another top
5 tackle.
Oh, Beluga's gone now.
How about their center that went to San Diego? Where is he?
There last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's not there this year.
I understand. But you just said the MVP of last year. Last year,
Aaron Rodgers is the reason why that team ticks, and people are still picking Aaron Rodgers and that Green Bay Packers team to make the NFC title game. So
no, they're not even going to make the playoffs.
Are you going to talk into the mic, or are you going to talk outside?
I'm trying. I don't know why this thing's not working.
Well, there you go. There's the mic. So if you want to maneuver the mic, that would be very fitting. But anyways, to get back into what I think about this. Now, Aaron Rodgers came out and he spoke very highly of the organization, which I don't understand. We all know the truth behind what Aaron Rodgers thinks of the organization. We all know it. But Aaron Rodgers said that he was thinking about retirement. That's what he said. And he also said that moving forward, he doesn't know what's going to happen next year. He has no idea if he's going to retire next year after the contract is up this year. But he still believes that he has gas in the tank. He still thinks that he can play at a high level. And he decided to come back and play for the Green Bay Packers. The only reason why he decided to come back and play for the Green Bay Packers is the Green Bay Packers weren't going to trade him. So Aaron Rodgers coming back, he will be a free agent next year. I think if he doesn't decide to retire, he will be looking elsewhere. Now, Ben says the Packers signed Dennis Kelly. Who? Okay.
Average tackle, Ben.
An average tackle. You're talking about one of the best centers in the league that fled and went all the way to San Diego. And they lost one of their top tackles to free agency as well. So they are not as strong as you think they are at the offensive line like they were the past 2 years. But again, Aaron Rodgers hides those deficiencies because of his legs and his feet and what he does inside and out of the pocket. So I don't believe, and I don't care who's playing on that offensive line. If you have half decent offensive tackles and half decent guards playing on your team, Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to pick teams apart. But the interesting story behind this is Aaron Rodgers has been sitting out, and he said something very interesting. He's never had an opportunity because of the whole COVID-19. He's never had the opportunity in the offseason to really enjoy himself. As everybody knows, he has a fiance. He's getting married in the next year, and he just bought a new house over there in California. So Aaron is really enjoying his offseason and really realizing that there's life after football. But his competitiveness and his drive as a football player to compete, he said a lot of that transitioned him to decide to come back for this final season on the Green Bay Packers for his contract. Now, do I think Aaron Rodgers will leave after this year? The answer is no. I think Aaron Rodgers is right now, he's on the Tom Brady diet, the TB12. TB12.
So, like you don't know.
No, I don't. I don't do his diet. I don't have any interest in his diet. I do my own diet. I'm in pretty damn good shape. I don't need Tom Brady's diet, by the way.
His marketing scheme would have.
But he's dieting, he's doing, and he does look good. Aaron Rodgers looks healthy. He says he's very light on his feet. He says he feels like he's in the best shape of his career. So if Aaron Rodgers says that, I believe Aaron. Now, Aaron said that last year, and he was the MVP of the league. So I think moving forward, I do believe them bringing back, who are they bringing back again? I'm sorry, Randall Cobb. They're trying to make Aaron Rodgers happy and obviously letting Randall Cobb go for free agency. I think he went to the Cowboys, and then he's been a couple of places before he's coming back. Yeah. So now him coming back, and why all of a sudden you're speaking when you didn't even know it was Randall Cobb. Now Randall Cobb coming back, does that make them a top flight team? The answer is no. Now, I thought bringing in a wide receiver like Elijah Moore, obviously in the draft, that would have fit. Being that a lot of people thought Elijah Moore was a top 16 pick, he fell out of the top 16. He fell to the second round. I think he would have been a better fit for the Green Bay Packers, especially with the speed and his ability to catch the ball after the first hit. So I thought that he would have fit better over there than the kid that they drafted in the third round. But I think Aaron Rodgers has been disrespected by this organization. And I think he realizes that. I think he's going to follow through with his contract to obviously because they weren't going to trade him, and there was no other place he was going to be able to play because they weren't moving on from Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron's going to have to bite the bullet for one more year, and then he's going to have to decide if he's going to retire. He's going to go do Jeopardy. He's going to do his own game show. Who knows what Aaron is thinking moving forward in his career. But this is a good story because nobody wants to see Aaron Rodgers leave and retire. Nobody. Even the haters and the naysayers like Tyler Harrison over here.
How am I a naysayer?
You don't like him, and that's fine.
He's a
what? He's a what?
Well, I can't say that word here, but he's
He's a what?
A pain in the tuckus, to be nice.
Tuckus, you mean?
Tuckus?
It's tuckus.
Tuckus?
It's tuckus. Ass. How's that? Is that
He needs
help
to
you?
take something, man.
But I don't see why you think he's a pain in the ass. I think he's like any other quarterback. Tom Brady.
Tom Brady's loved by his teammates everywhere he's ever been.
And you're telling
Tom Brady's a winner.
Aaron Rodgers is loved by every single one of his teammates except
That's
two of them.
not true.
Oh, really?
That's
tell me a player right now on the team that don't like him.
Name somebody that's ever came out and defended him.
Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams came out and said defended him. Randall Cobb, they're bringing him back. And by the way,
Please.
Aaron
Randall
Jones
Cobb's gratefully still has a job.
Aaron Jones, who they just gave a $13 million contract 2 weeks ago, said that if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back, this team isn't a playoff team.
Let's talk about somebody that doesn't actually have to have relations with this guy every day. Craig Jennings came out and said he's a terrible teammate.
How about Tom Brady, who played golf with him just recently? Tom Brady absolutely loves Aaron Rodgers.
That's great.
Absolutely loves
You know
Aaron
why
Rodgers.
Tom Brady loves Aaron
Why
Rodgers?
is that?
Because Tom Brady knows that he doesn't have to worry about Aaron Rodgers.
That's not true. He plays in the same NFC.
I understand.
And he's got to play Aaron Rodgers.
In 1 year, Tom Brady's won as many Super Bowls as Aaron Rodgers has in, 13?
Okay. And what?
Okay.
This has nothing to do with Tom Brady, Tyler. This has nothing to do with him. You're saying that he doesn't deserve any respect.
No,
and
I'm not.
yes, you did.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you did.
People put him in the GOAT conversation.
He is in the GOAT conversation.
He's not in the GOAT
really?
conversation.
You're telling
He's not even top 10 all time.
Really? Right now, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. He is the best quarterback in the NFL.
That's not true.
Really? Who won the MVP last year?
Patrick Mahomes.
Who won the MVP last year?
Patrick Mahomes.
No,
is
he
the best
didn't.
Quarterback in football.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Errol.
Yeah. Go look at the numbers, Tyler.
Okay, that's great.
Go look at the numbers, Tyler.
LeBron's the best player in the NBA in your mind, right? When's the last time
There's
he won
no question
MVP?
he is.
8 years ago.
They don't give him the MVP.
Right.
The reason why
How
they don't give him
boring
the
would
MVP,
it be if
he
Pat
should win the
Mahomes
MVP
won
every
another
single
Super
year.
Bowl and another MVP?
Oh, okay. So
come on, stop.
Patrick Mahomes was not the MVP last year. Patrick Mahomes,
he's the best quarterback in football.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He has the best team in football.
All right. So you have a blank piece of paper.
He has the best. He has the best tight end in football. He has the best tight end in football.
George Kittle's not there.
What do you mean, George
George
Kittle?
Kittle's the best tight end in football.
Travis Kelce is the best tight end in football. Yes, he is.
All right, put George Kittle in Kansas City. He'll blow Travis Kelce away.
Travis Kelce is the best tight end in football. No. Yes, he is. It's not even an argument. He
Yes,
is.
it is.
He
Very
has
much
been
an
the
argument.
best tight end in football
Travis Kelce
for the
can't
last
run block,
6
he can't
years.
pass block, he
Really?
can't do it. Yes.
Travis Kelce is the best tight end blocker in football.
No, George Kittle's the
No,
best
he's
blocker
not.
in football.
Speedy.
Kittle's a better blocker. He's right about that. But receiving wise, Kelsey's numbers are.
You're telling me Travis Kelce is not a good blocker?
Hold on, wait a minute.
He's an improved blocker. Kittle's
on,
a much better blocker, but
One
Travis
has Pat
Kelce's a much
Mahomes,
better receiver.
One has Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right, he was better. He was good
One
before
has
Mahomes.
CJ
though,
Beathard.
too.
Travis
One has
Kelce is a
Patrick
better
Mahomes.
tight end.
Kelsey was good with Alex Smith though too. Keep that in mind too.
Okay, Alex Smith and Pat Mahomes are still better, and I love Jimmy Garoppolo. Alex Smith and Jimmy Garoppolo might break even, but to compare Jimmy G and Pat Mahomes is ludicrous.
So you're going to sit
One's
here
a generational talent. One
Speedy,
is
bring up the numbers. When we bring up guys, I want you to bring up the numbers automatically. That's what you do. You're the producer. So bring up the numbers.
Yeah, produce.
I want Patrick Mahomes'
Do
numbers
something,
last year and Aaron Rodgers' numbers last year. Okay? Because honestly, I'm not going to sit here and listen to this.
And to be great, to really break it down, really the MVP every year is Tom Brady.
No, he's not.
Yo,
no, he's not.
Absolutely.
Tom
How
Brady
do you
didn't
go
have
from
anywhere
7-9?
Tom
to a
Brady didn't
Super
have
Bowl
anywhere close
without-
to the numbers as
All he did
Aaron
was bring in
Rodgers.
Tom Brady. The team basically said the same.
Could you bring up the numbers? Do you have them?
I would have gave MVP to Tom Brady just for that.
Okay. You
Just
have
for
the
that.
thing. You bring up Aaron Rodgers' numbers.
I don't need to bring up the numbers.
Pat
Mahomes, to me, is the best quarterback.
He isn't. He had the best team in football, and he wasn't. Patrick Mahomes last year, because Speedy's so slow, and he doesn't know how to, 4,740 yards, 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And he had one of the best wide receivers, top 3 wide receiver in the league, and he had the top offensive tight end in football, okay? On that team.
Oh,
And by the way,
Adams
a young rookie to me was rookie of the year in my eyes. Besides Justin Herbert, he had one of the best young running backs in all of football.
Rodgers had 42.99 yards, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions last year.
Yeah, and he had one good wide receiver, and his next wide receiver wasn't even a top 100 ranking. Top 100.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in football.
Pat
last year.
Mahomes also has one good wide receiver.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Speedy, go bring up Pat.
Sammy
Pat Mahomes.
Watkins was not a top.
God.
He's
Here we
not.
go. I'm gonna bring up his. Go
Pat
ahead.
Mahomes
Keep
throws
talking.
people open.
Okay, I'm gonna
So
bring
does
up
Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is top 3. But Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in football.
No, he's not.
You're starting a franchise with Aaron Rodgers over Pat Mahomes?
Absolutely.
Pat Mahomes
And that's
had
why you don't win a
47,
Super
40 yards, 38
That's-
touchdowns.
I just said
the
it.
reason why the Jets fans get no respect is because they say this nonsense.
Let's say what nonsense?
That Pat Mahomes is
Pat
the best
Mahomes
quarterback
had
in football.
he had first of all, he has an all-time great offensive-minded coach. Who does Aaron Rodgers have? He has a rookie coach that runs his offense, okay? His offense.
And
He
who do you
calls
have
the
before
audibles.
that?
Oh, what do you mean?
Mike
Who-
McCarthy?
Mike
He's a
McCarthy.
borderline Hall of Famer.
Really? What is he doing right now with the Cowboys? What's he
That's
doing
not-
with the Cowboys?
that's
Oh, that's
not
not fair? That's not
That's
fair?
not fair.
Oh, really? What's
As long
not
as
fair?
Jerry Jones is breathing, whoever coaches Dallas.
Oh,
is
so
screwed.
now it's Jerry Jones' fault.
It's always Jerry Jones.
You're on drugs, Tyler.
It's
I can't
always
sit
Jerry's
here,
fault.
I can't sit here and listen to this. Okay?
Well, you're going to have to.
I know. I'm going to have to listen to this more often. But you want to know something?
You brought me here.
I did.
All
And you
right,
want to know
then.
something? You're sitting here and telling me when you look at the rosters, Aaron Rodgers has a more talented offensive roster than Patrick Mahomes. Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Pat Mahomes
now-
is a better quarterback.
No, he's not.
Okay.
He's not because the numbers would show that he's not.
How long Pat Mahomes been in the league?
What do you mean? How long?
3 years as a starter.
3 years as a starter.
So we'll say
with
4.
One of the
We'll say
greatest,
4.
one of the greatest offensive minds in football. He
Errol.
has Tyreek
Errol.
Hill, his first rookie
Errol.
year.
Errol.
Who? What do you mean?
Errol.
Errol
How
what? What?
How many
What?
years Aaron Rodgers been in the league?
What are you talking about?
How many years has Aaron Rodgers been in the league?
13.
Then how the hell can you say that they're even close when Mahomes has as many Super Bowls as this dude and he's a third of the career?
Again, I'm going to explain to you. Super Bowls are all about team. Do you understand that?
I do get
team.
it. I understand.
You need good defense.
Wholeheartedly.
Aaron Rodgers has had some of the worst
The
defenses in NFL history.
Okay, Drew Brees has 2, and he's still got 1.
Drew Brees? Drew Brees? Drew
No,
Brees?
that-
Let's look
that
at Drew
Saints-
Brees' all defensive.
The Saints were a historically bad defense.
Really?
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row. Really?
Awful.
Really? Awful.
They couldn't stop you by yourself.
Okay. That's why they led the league in sacks for like 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
Okay?
the last 2 or 3 years, and they didn't win anything.
First of all, Drew Brees has had good defenses. Aaron Rodgers has had the worst defenses.
Right.
Worst. You're
Didn't
talking
they
about
just put $100 million of payroll into their defense?
who?
The Smith brothers,
The Smith brothers. And what have they done?
Amos.
What have they done?
They have Jair
Where-
Alexander.
Go look at
top
where
5 corner
go-
of
Jair
football.
Alexander was homegrown, though.
I understand, but he's still there.
Go look where they were ranked defensively.
Darnell Savage, they drafted.
Now, in the last 5 years,
They
where
put no effort in the defense.
No effort in the defense.
Maybe if
Their
they would have
defense
kept Blake
stinks.
Martinez.
Their defense,
Yeah.
Blake Martinez. Yeah,
Blake
Blake
Martinez.
Martinez couldn't stay healthy.
Blake Martinez
Couldn't stay
tremendous.
healthy.
Blake Martinez was a top 5 linebacker
No, he
last year in
wasn't.
football.
What, for the Giants?
Yes.
No, he wasn't a top 5.
Oh, look up the
What are you-
numbers. Look
No,
up the
go
numbers.
ahead, look
guys.
up the numbers.
Look up the numbers.
Go ahead, look at the numbers.
He's still been a pro.
He
The guy
wasn't
can't
a top
cover.
five.
He's not a top
He's
5
not a top
linebacker
5
if he can't
linebacker.
cover.
What are you smoking?
He
Okay,
did a tremendous job last year.
whatever it is,
Tremendous job
go
last year.
smoke your Kush
All right,
because there's no way.
Tyler, I
I
can
need
tell you
crack.
this
I
right.
don't
I
need
can tell you 5 right now. Darius Leonard, Fred Warner, Bobby Wagner,
His numbers are identical to Darius Leonard.
and
His
Darius
numbers
Leonard can
are
cover.
identical.
Darius
That's
Leonard.
not his job. That's not why the Giants.
That's
brought him
part
in.
of his skills.
He's a
though.
quarterback. He's a quarterback of the defense. Darius Leonard is not.
Okay,
I'm
It's
going
still
to listen to this.
It's still some top 5 linebackers that can actually cover. All right. By the way, the Saints had a 28.4 point per game defense 2012, 2014, 26.5, 29.8, and 28.4 after that. But in the last 4 years, 20.4, 22.1 points, 21.3,
Because they addressed
21.1.
the issue.
Blake
Just like the
Martinez.
Packers
Blake
have.
Martinez was not a top 5. He wasn't even a top 15 linebacker.
That's-
Okay,
that's
he
not-
wasn't.
that's not
He
accurate.
wasn't. It is accurate.
That's
That's
not
one.
accurate.
Number 2,
You
Aaron
even know how
Rodgers.
many tackles and sacks he had last year?
I'm telling you right now, if I go look at the top linebackers in the league, he was not in the
He was
top.
second in
He was
tackles
he was
last year.
probably 14th or 15th. In all of the, when you're talking about numbers, you got to put all the numbers together, Tyler.
Yes, I understand that.
And he wasn't.
I understand.
He wasn't. He's not a good cover.
The first
linebacker.
name he said was Darius Leonard. His numbers are better than Darius Leonard's.
Because he has more tackles.
He has more tackles. He has more sacks. He has more interceptions.
Okay.
What the stat are we
Tyler,
looking at here?
Tyler.
Those are the 3 most important stats
Tyler,
for
first
a
of all,
linebacker.
to get back to your Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was the MVP of the league last year. Aaron Rodgers
Yes.
threw to one
Understood.
top 5 wide receiver, and the rest of the wide receivers. His tight
He's a
end,
top 5 running
who
back.
actually played well last year, wasn't even in the top 10. Okay,
He has
at tight
a top
ends.
5 running back.
What are you
Pat
talking about?
Mahomes does not have a top 5 running back.
Top 5 running back?
Aaron Jones.
What did Aaron Jones do in the playoffs?
What did Aaron Rodgers do?
What did Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers did a lot in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd that go?
What do you mean? Where'd
it go?
Back-to-back NFC title games. That's where it got.
Back-to-back NFC title.
Back-to-back
Right.
NFC title. You know how hard it is to do that?
Back-to-back losses.
You know how hard it is?
Also, he
Yes.
blew up against the Giants.
He blew up against the Giants.
Also,
Okay.
he kind of struggled the first half against
Tyler,
the Cardinals.
your hatred for Aaron Rodgers
It's
is
not
despicable.
hatred. He's overrated.
Overrated. Yeah, an overrated quarterback that throws to nobody has one of the worst defensive-minded coaches in NFL history, and that's Mike Pettin, who has been a terrible defensive-minded coach. Ask Rex Ryan in the New York Jets, okay, who has been, and he's a terrible coach. Thank God he's
Rex
gone.
Ryan's a defensive genius.
Yeah, he was.
He
Pettin
is.
isn't. And Pettin is gone. He was the coach of the Buffalo Bills. Oh, no, not Buffalo. He was the Browns coach. And he was a defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. He ratted on Rex Ryan when he was the Jets coach. That's why the Jets had to fire him. To me,
The Jets fired him because he got a stupid tattoo of Mark Sanchez.
No, the Jets fired him. First of all, the Jets should have never fired Rex.
They should never fire him.
First of all, and again.
Well, now you
second
finally
of
have
all,
a decent coach. So
Rex Ryan. I'm sorry, not Rex Ryan. Aaron Rodgers. To me. First of all, it should get all the respect you should be giving him, because if you look at his roster stinks. Okay, it is a terrible roster. He took that roster to an NFC title game, back-to-back NFC title games. That roster, okay,
right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that roster that has one good offensive player out of all. And by the way, Aaron Jones, who got $13 million this year, got pulled in the NFC title game by two backups, okay? Who I didn't understand it in the offseason, why they would give this guy $13 million when they pulled him for two backups. Two backups, because he couldn't play. He dropped the ball 3 times in the NFC title game, all right? Which cost the Packers to win that game, because they were one play away from winning that game. So, and that tells you, and by the way, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with their talent, they were much talented than the NFC Green Bay Packers. And they were one play away from losing. And they were one play away from losing.
All I'm going to tell you is, for one of Tom Brady's Super Bowl reigns, he may have had more talent.
Could you stop with these Super Bowls?
The other 6? I don't think so.
Again, first of all, Tom Brady wasn't the only player to win those championships.
And Aaron Rodgers is not the only player to take a team
you need
to a
special
back-to-back
teams,
NFC championship.
and you need coaching.
Right. But if you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers single-handedly brought a team to back-to-back NFC
Yes, he did.
championships, well, that's great. Tom Brady single-handedly brought the Patriots to back-to-back Super Bowls.
Tyler, go look at the roster last year. Go look at the offensive side of the ball. That roster was terrible. They were horrendous. That roster was terrible. Their offensive line, half decent. By the way, they couldn't stay healthy last year. Their tackle wasn't healthy all season long. It was in and out. Their right and left tackle were out. Their guards couldn't stay healthy. The only person that stayed healthy was their center, who's now playing for LA. Okay? The LA Chargers. I always call them because they are the San Diego Chargers in my eyes. So that roster was horrendous. And he took that roster to an NFC title game. And you were telling me, well, he's overrated. How do you overrate?
He's overrated.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
His numbers would show you that he's not. His numbers would show you that he's not.
I'm going to put it to you this way. Right? He's not even the greatest quarterback of his own franchise. And I would argue he's not even the second greatest quarterback of his own franchise. Now, how overrated is that? People say you're the GOAT, but you're not even the greatest of your own franchise. That's not good.
How many interceptions does he throw every single year? What was the most interceptions he's thrown in a year? The most?
I want to say 12, but probably 10.
Okay. So you're saying 12, okay?
I'll say
now.
12.
Now let me ask you a question. What is the most interceptions Tom Brady has thrown in a year?
I think he's thrown 18 once.
Okay. So you're the GOAT that you call the GOAT. And
he'll be the touchdown leader at the end of this season.
He also has the longevity. He also plays at 43, 44 years old because of his health. He takes care of himself. You can't take that away from him. And nobody's taking shots at Tom Brady. This has nothing to do with Tom Brady, but you brought it into the conversation.
You keep bringing up Tom Brady.
No, I'm bringing up Aaron Rodgers. And you're saying that he's overrated, which is
the best quarterback in the league.
He's not.
He is.
He is not.
If you take Pat Mahomes off the Chiefs,
who was the MVP of the league?
They won't even win their division.
Who was the Are you kidding me?
That's it.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
All right. So you take Pat Mahomes off of that team,
right?
And you put give me quarterbacks.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins.
Brady had 14 interceptions in his most years. Rodgers had 13 as his highest.
So Speedy,
identical.
You put Cousins. You put Cousins on that team. Are they a playoff team?
No.
Playoff team probably because their division isn't great.
Are they a good competitive?
Yeah, they're a good team. Yeah,
they're a good team.
They're not. Okay, Kirk
All right.
Cousins.
Look
the guy
at that
can't
roster.
play well in prime time.
Look at that
You're
roster.
nuts. You're both insane.
Okay,
that place would be so loud.
Who's winning that division?
The Broncos.
The Broncos with Drew Lock at quarterback are winning the division.
Teddy Bridgewater will start at some point during the year, but yes.
So we're going to see it. By the way, why don't you read off some of the things
the
people
football.
are seeing?
They've got a great receiving core
because that's your
decent
job.
Offensive line.
Ben says Rodgers does more with less. That's why he's fed up. He wanted more help. Frankie Coniglio said Tom Brady was selected 199th overall. Snug says, preach it, Tyler. Brady should have won 7 or 8 MVPs now, at least.
At least is right.
That's coming from That's coming. By the way, that's coming from a Patriot fan.
I'm not a Patriot fan.
That's coming from a Patriot. Snug is.
Right.
It's coming from a Patriot fan.
Carl says Mike McCarthy, borderline Hall of Famer, ridiculous statement. Snug says, I blame the Beeve. It's like the curse of the goat or Bambino. The Cowboys have the curse of the Beeve. Not sure if it's a breakable curse. Ben says Mahomes 66.3% completion percentage. Rodgers 70.7 last season. Carl says
Throwing to nobody.
Hold on.
Throwing to nobody but Devontae Adams.
Now,
hold on. Let him read off everything that he says.
Carl says Blake Martinez top 5. Good Lord, get Josh back. And then Tyler, Carl has a question for you: Roquan Smith or Blake Martinez? Who would you take
this year?
Or just overall?
Who would you choose, Tyler?
I'm going to take Roquan Smith because he's younger, but in general, Blake Martinez.
Yeah, that's because you're a Giant fan. Go ahead.
No,
that's you are.
I said Roquan
you're
Smith
a Giant fan. You're a hitting Giant
for
fan.
1 year. I would
Go ahead, Speedy.
Ben says Mahomes 38-6, Rodgers 48-5, touchdown interception in regular season last season. And if we're using the rings as the benchmark for greatest player of all time, even though sports are mostly a team sport, not individual, Bill Russell is the best NBA player in history.
People make that argument every day.
Jeff says the only thing weaker
every day.
Jeff says the only thing weaker than the Packers wide receiver corp is Tyler's hairline. Josh says I'll guest appear. Miss you too, Carl Falk. Keep watching off the mat. Stuck says those were awesome. Carl says Lyle's fedora and striking out. Brett Goldstein says, I said that and Josh got mad. And Ben says Rodgers' most interception in one game was 4 times. Brady has 4 interception in 6 games.
First of all, Tyler, and we're not talking about Brady. Take Brady out of this. This has nothing to do with Tom Brady. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to get in it. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers. And the fact that you say he's overrated is a joke. It's a joke because there is nothing behind what you say that shows that he's overrated. Nothing. He has had go look at his defenses and where they've been ranked in the last 5 years. Not last year, because last year their defense was okay. I think they were ranked 22nd or 20th last year.
Not good,
but it's better than what they've been over the last 32nd. The year that they went to the NFC title game, who they play in the NFC title game? A couple of years ago. Atlanta. They had the worst defense in NFL history. Okay, they were the worst defense in NFL history. He took that team to the NFC title game against the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, go ahead, Speedy. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say that I think 2012 as well. I think they had a 31st ranked defense. The year after they won, or the year after they were 15-1, they lost to the Giants that next year, and they lost to the 49ers when Kaepernick went off in that playoff game too.
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, I think 181 rushing yards or something like that.
You're the one who said Blake Martinez is one of the best linebackers in the league. Okay,
he played like it last year.
He's not. He's not, Tyler. He's not, Tyler.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement. It's a ridiculous statement. I love you, Tyler, but don't tell me that Blake Martinez is a top 5 linebacker in the league.
Like one
He's not a top 15 linebacker in the league. That's good. He played like one last year. That doesn't mean that he is.
That's all that I can go by.
Yeah, well, go by this. Go by this. Go drink whatever you drink. Go smoke whatever you smoke. And do whatever.
Here?
What do you mean?
You have drinks here?
I did. Everybody, all my friends came over here and took all the vodka out of my freezer. I don't even drink. So
how do you have vodka if you don't drink?
Because my friends, I had parties and my friends would bring.
Why wasn't I invited to said party?
Well, Tyler, this has nothing to do with the show. What the hell are we talking about?
Last year, their defense allowed 31.8 points per game. So the year before, they were good, 23.5. But they've had 3 defenses that have allowed 35 or 30 or more points per game, including, like I said, in 2012, they had 35 points a game, which was the worst at that time, the worst.
Speedy, honestly, when you look at the rosters, who's a better quarterback right now? With the rosters, you look at
Aaron Rodgers definitely outperformed Mahomes last year. No question about that. And it's by a pretty good margin.
Okay. So you're talking over there. Now, everybody that knows when you look at statistics and the eye, when you watch the game and you look at Devontae Adams and everybody else, Speedy, could you name the second best wide receiver on that team? Lazard. And where was he ranked in all of the league last year?
Nothing special.
Okay, probably 120
600 something yards.
106th.
Yeah.
Okay, and he took that team to an NFC title game. Okay, so that tells you one player can change a team's horizon. They're going to be Super Bowl contenders this year. Now that Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers didn't make the team, Speedy, are they a playoff team?
Oh, not even close.
They win. How many games they win?
6 maybe.
6. I understand.
From a team that won 13
last year. I'm not saying he's not a top quarterback in the league right now. I understand.
You said he was overrated.
All-time wise, he's overrated.
No, he's not.
He's not top 10 all time.
Oh, he absolutely is. He absolutely is.
No way.
110% is. Oh, not even close. Why? Because of Super Bowls? Again,
How
Super
do you
Bowls,
compare it?
Super Bowls, first of all, Super Bowls are won by a team, not by one player.
Why do you think Joe Montana's the GOAT again?
What do you mean?
You say Montana's the GOAT, and you
Joe
gave me the
Montana's
same answer
he's never
every time.
He's never lost in a Super Bowl.
Okay, then.
He's never lost.
Isn't that a hypocritical statement?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not all about Super Bowls.
No,
Your
I didn't
reason is
say
he never lost a
he's
Super Bowl.
he's the greatest of all time because he won 4 Super Bowls. I said he's the greatest of all time because he's never lost in a Super Bowl. That's two different things.
Well,
and
neither
two
is
different
Drew Brees,
arguments.
So then by that logic,
But that's fine if you want to argue that. And I love Drew Brees. I think Drew Brees is one of the top 4 or 5 quarterbacks to ever play the game.
He is.
There's no question that he is at the
Now,
size that he
when
is.
you break it down that way, Aaron Rodgers really isn't even a top 5 quarterback of his own decade.
Oh, God.
Carl has a question for you guys. Dan Marino or Aaron Rodgers? Who would you take?
Dan Marino.
Dan Marino or Aaron Rodgers?
Dan Marino's.
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Greatest arm talent
I'm
ever.
going to. How could you say that?
I just did.
Well, you're wrong.
Dan Marino
you're wrong.
is the greatest arm talent
Really?
ever.
Dan Marino couldn't throw on the run like this guy. Okay?
He didn't have to.
Exactly. Because
Give
the
him
game is
time.
different.
Guess
First
what?
of all,
Dan Marino didn't break his collarbone either.
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers, and then there's reasons why. Now, Dan Marino, he also came from a team that really, besides maybe one wide receiver and a running back, Dan Marino didn't have the talent around him. I just think that in the time that Dan Marino played in the game, that it was completely different. Dan Marino specifically, the game was revolved around running backs and running the ball. You know, I told you to put that on a vibrate, Speedy. You of all people know how to use an Apple iPhone, and you didn't do what I told you to do because you don't listen to me.
All right,
Just put it
Jeff. Jeff is on.
What's going on, Jeff?
How are you, boys?
I'm good, man.
Tyler, good to see you, man. You're a welcome addition back. You're a sight for sore eyes. I think you're a lughead sometimes, but I do appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Jeff.
Go ahead, Jeff.
But listen, I'm a Brady guy.
Yeah.
I know you're sticking up for Brady, Tyler.
We're not talking about Brady.
I understand that, but I don't know how you can say Rodgers is like really that overrated. I mean, all he's done is play with tomato cans his whole career, like absolute tomato cans, right? Like if you gave Aaron Rodgers, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce, those kind of guys, it would be pretty frightening what that guy would be able to do with top-level talent like that.
I agree with you.
Really, you agree, but you say he's overrated.
But all-time wise, yes, he's overrated.
No,
he's not top 10 all-time.
You're on
People say
drugs.
he's the GOAT. That's overrated.
No, I didn't
Just
say
like
he was the
LeBron.
GOAT. I didn't say he was the
LeBron
GOAT.
James is a top 10
I
player
never
all
said
time.
Aaron Rodgers was the GOAT. Never did.
I'm not saying you did. People say it. They are wrong. And
Stats will argue that. Now, stats don't mean everything, and I know that's what Jeff's going to say. Stats don't mean everything. That doesn't tell the whole tale. But again, Aaron Rodgers, when you look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie, just like Jeff says, he has played with tomato cans.
You know
I never even heard that
love
saying.
Aaron Rodgers? Because they can have these highlight reels of him rolling to his left and throwing the ball 80 yards.
And how many players you know could do that?
Not a lot.
Okay.
But you know who
But he's
else was a
overrated.
great arm talent? Jamarcus Russell. Yeah.
Do not compare Aaron Rodgers to Jamarcus Russell.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
But you want to know what, Errol? You're very selective in the numbers that you like to look at to decide who's good and who isn't.
Okay.
Because I'll give you a stat, and I already know what's going to happen because I've given it to you before, and you go, that doesn't matter.
Okay, give me the stat. Give me the stat.
Do you realize Aaron Rodgers has never come from behind to beat a team with a winning record?
Okay. Okay.
Like how that has to be a strike against. Like, listen, I'm kind of on board. He's certainly been disrespected by his own franchise, and I understand where his frustration comes from. But you're making him out to be Jesus. Like if he wore sandals, you call him
first
Jesus,
of all, I never called
right?
him Jesus, and I stick up for Aaron Rodgers because when you look at the team and the roster that they've put around him, they've given him garbage. And like you said, you put him on Kansas City, you put him on any of these teams that have all this top talent, he wins 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls.
But you could say that about anybody because for the most part, Tom Brady's played with tomato cans. You want to give him top level talent? Would he ever lose a Super Bowl?
Probably not. But he did. You saw him last year with top level talent. Top level talent last year.
But this is what I'm saying is you can only judge a guy by what he has around him. And I understand people get frustrated and want to leave teams. And I understand Aaron Rodgers' frustration. But when you're like, oh, look at the numbers, you only look at the good numbers, those numbers that paint him in a positive light instead of the numbers that really tell you the entire story.
Not necessarily, because I look at other numbers too. And if I didn't think Aaron Rodgers deserves the respect, I would say you're right. He doesn't deserve the respect that he deserves. When I look at the big picture and I look at what Aaron Rodgers has done with a roster that's completely garbage, I am not going to say that he's overrated, and he is a top 10 quarterback of all time. There's not even an argument to that. And anybody that will argue that obviously hasn't watched this guy play.
No, I think he's one of the greatest of all time. Just for the, I look at him. I treat him the same way that I would treat Brady.
I know you do.
Because if you look at what Brady's done, he's never really had anyone good he's played with. Okay, he had one season of Randy Moss or a season and a half of Randy Moss. Who cares? He's been in the league 20 years, right? Like Aaron Rodgers has made everyone he's with play better. And I think that's a real sign of greatness.
And I think you're right. But again, and I'm not, as soon as I bring up Aaron Rodgers and we talk about, who's the greatest, he brings up, and people bring up Tom Brady. I leave Tom Brady out of this. This has nothing to do with Tom. This has everything to do when we talk about Aaron Rodgers. He's been disrespected by his team. He talks at the press conference. He didn't even shoot down and take shots at the organization. He said that if he was going to come back, he knew he was going to come back to play for Green Bay, and then
he had no choice.
No question. That again, we just said that. But he also didn't. He could have went out and took shots at the president, the GM, the coach. They did.
He kind of did, though.
No, he didn't. He didn't say anything that was bad.
100% he did. When he's standing there and saying, I think that I've earned the right to have a say in personnel decisions to make my job, what he's saying is the GM and the president and the coach don't care what I have to think, and they ignore me. And that doesn't reflect well on them. If you don't think that's kind of a shot at them, I don't know what would be. Was it a polite shot? Yes. But a shot nonetheless.
First of all, you're the greatest quarterback. In my eyes, you're the greatest quarterback of that organization. And that's what I believe he is. He's the greatest quarterback of that organization with the least amount of talent. Go look at Brett Favre and the players he's played with the year in and year out he played with.
It's much better. Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers played with talent. Let's calm down.
Who?
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson.
Randall
the
Cobb.
Same Jordy Nelson that went to Oakland and did nothing. Right?
We all knew he was done by then. We all knew he was done by then.
Dude, Randall Cobb is not all that good.
No, stop.
Randall Cobb. What did he do when he left the Green Bay Packers?
Was there,
what did he do when he left Green Bay Packers?
When Randall Cobb was there,
he was good because Aaron Rodgers.
Right, but this is what you have to look at as well, Tyler. This like I said, I'll treat him like Tom Brady. You get guys like Deion Branch, and everyone goes, "Oh, he was really good as a Patriot." Yeah, he went to Seattle and stunk. Randall Cobb could only play football because Aaron Rodgers was throwing him the football. Could he play football when Dak Prescott was throwing him the football? No.
The fact is Aaron Rodgers makes everybody
better.
Yes, he did. He played with Dak Prescott. Yes, he did.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
For what, 4 or 5 games?
He played with Dak Prescott. No, he was there for 2 years. He was there before Dak Prescott got hurt last year.
And before they drafted CeeDee Lamb.
Yes. He was there for 2 years. And then he went somewhere else. Where did he go? Houston. And he stunk there. Okay. Yeah. Houston. DeShaun Watson was there.
No, I meant Houston was just a disaster.
But you can't name a Patriot that's gone anywhere else and played good, just like you can't name a Packer that's gone anywhere else and played good. What, Greg Jennings? Greg Jennings stunk in Minnesota. Get out of here.
He stunk. He did. And again, you look at Aaron Rodgers, and trust me, Devontae Adams. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't come back, he was talking about getting traded. He didn't want to be there.
I understand.
Yeah, because he knows that this team is no good. No good. He is everything to the organization. Everything. Just like if Tom Brady left the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, let's be honest.
They would be
a terrible team.
7-8.
They'd be 7-8
or 7 and
now.
10,
Tyler
7
and now
10,
Jeff. Honestly, you put a half decent quarterback besides Tom Brady. Are they a playoff team?
I mean,
a decent. I'm talking about. I don't know. Like give me a quarterback. Matt Ryan. You put Matt Ryan on.
Matt Ryan's a top 10
probably, they probably are a playoff team.
They're a playoff team. They're not Tom Brady. They're not Tom Brady-esque, but they're a playoff team.
No, they're probably a playoff team.
Because of their talent.
But yeah, I mean, listen, we saw what happens when you go from a mediocre quarterback to Jameis Winston and inject Tom Brady into that roster. That roster is, for the sake of Rob Gronkowski, who's not the same receiver he once was. He was more of a blocker last year. And Antonio Brown, who barely did anything during the regular season. That's the exact same roster that Jameis Winston was throwing to. Right. And they were horrific.
Leonard Fournette's the only real addition, and he only really played well during the playoffs.
Speedy, read what everybody is saying.
Ben said, just announced Vegas has Green Bay at 12-1 odds to win the Super Bowl behind Tampa and Kansas City. Carl says Jamarcus Russell didn't have arm talent. He could just throw the ball a mile. Arm talent is throwing accurately on the run, throwing guys open, hitting tight windows.
He was the number 1 overall pick because he could throw the ball only 90 yards.
Carl also says he said he wasn't listened to and that his talent was taken away. And then John has a question. Where do you guys think Xavier Howard gets traded to?
There were 6 teams. There were 6 teams on the list. The Jets were one of them. I don't think he's going to the Jets because Joe Douglas will not pay him what he wants.
There's only one team Xavier Howard is going to.
Where's that? Arizona
Cardinals.
Yep.
If he goes to Arizona, that Arizona is the super. They're absolutely the favorites to winning the Super Bowl. I mean,
if they keep Chandler Jones, I agree with you.
They are keeping Chandler.
But Chandler Jones wants out. Chandler Jones wants out, and that's going to be the piece that gets swapped for Xavier Howard.
Really?
But
if you're the Dolphins, though, do you take him?
Of course you do, because Chandler Jones is
he's great.
He's a Brian.
No, I agree that he's great.
Exactly.
He's great.
I agree that he's great.
That's it. That's it. Then you go from one of the worst secondaries in football to one of the best secondary in football with that move.
Buda Baker and Brian Murphy. Yeah, I'd say so.
And they need that kind of cornerback in that division.
Absolutely.
Rams are loaded at wide receiver, and so are the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Speedy. What else?
John also says Aaron Rodgers was planning on retiring before this.
We said that, yes.
And I say Jones goes to the Dolphins. Yeah, that would be the most likely case in that trade going back, like Jeff was saying, because he's a Brian Flores fit.
Here's the thing, and we will. I want to finish up with Aaron Rodgers. We could talk about Xavier Howard because it did come out, and I do believe he will be traded because I do not believe Miami is going to give him the $90 to $100 million contract that he wants. I think Arizona might do that. I don't know if they will. I think they'll extend him he got a huge contract from Miami a couple of years ago. He's making what, 76, 80 million? Mm-hmm. He's making a huge contract. He's second highest paid corner in football, right behind Jalen Ramsey. He thinks that he's the best corner, which I believe. My argument is I think he's been a better corner than Ramsey the last 2 years. That's my opinion. So
I mean, but the problem is he feels disrespected because he's not the highest paid guy.
Yeah.
But look at Miami's situation. They just had to cut Kyle Van Noy, who was making money because of the salary cap issues. Are they not paying Xavier Howard because they don't value him, or are they not paying him because they don't have the cap room?
I agree with you, Jeff.
Yeah. Because that's two different issues, right? Like if you're saying to me, dude, sit tight for a year, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to take care of you.
Right.
Is a whole lot different situation than saying you're not that good. I'm not paying you what you're asking.
I agree with you. I think Xavier Howard needs to sit back and just play out this year, show that you're the top corner again this year, the way you played last year, and they're going to give you an extension. They're going to give you what you want. But for you to come out there and take shots saying that you're being disrespected, so they'll move on from you. And listen, I'm not saying it's easy to find a corner that good, because it's not. It's very hard to find a corner as good as Xavier Howard and a Jalen Ramsey. Those guys don't grow on trees. That's why they get paid a lot of money. But to bring in a Chandler Jones for Xavier, I think that's a good trade for Miami too. You had yourself one of the top best pass rushers in the league. I know he's coming back from a bad injury.
The problem is they don't need it. They just went and drafted a bunch of pass rushers.
They did, but they can use also Chandler Jones as another trade bait to bring in a corner. You know,
it also can help their development too, Jeff, though, that they're not facing the top attention right away with these young players. Because even though they drafted a couple, much of them are not necessarily thought of as quote unquote number one right type pass rushers right away, which we know Jones is.
But it also doesn't matter because you can't just stack one position and go, oh, we'll take them and we'll let these young guys sit, because you only have so many roster spots. And if you're going to carry an extra defensive end, that means you need to carry one less corner, which they might not have the depth. If they're getting rid of Xavier Howard, they might not have the depth. Or one less linebacker. You're going to cut some other quality player because you want to carry extra defensive ends. That seems ridiculous.
True, but pass rushers are something you really want depth in, though, too.
But they just drafted a bunch of them, and they already have a bunch of really good, pass rushers there anyways. And so what are you going to do? You're going to bring in Chandler Jones, and then you're just going to cut your second-round pick? That seems irresponsible.
No, that's irresponsible. But I also believe that they can use Chandler Jones, see if he plays well in the beginning of the season. At the trade deadline, you can move him, and if you need corner help, you could trade him. Or you could treat somebody else if Chandler Jones is having a great season.
But that still doesn't solve the problem.
No, it doesn't.
Because you need to be down to 50 guys.
56
guys?
Yeah, because they expanded
56.
it this year. Yeah.
It's 58 or 56.
Right. I think they expanded
56,
again. Is it 50?
56, I think. Is the new number.
Whatever. So
I think it's 56.
So you saying that they can trade him at the trade deadline? It doesn't help you, because you're still going to have to cut a quality guy before the season starts, because you have to be down to a certain number week one.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Jeff. I don't know what Miami is thinking right now with this Xavier Howard. Are they going to just, they call his bluff and say, you know what, you're under contract, you're going to play no matter what. They could do that, and the NFL will fine him, and he'll have to get on the field. So I don't know. Aaron Rodgers realized that Green Bay wasn't trading him, and the only way he could play this year, because he's a competitive guy. And if Aaron Rodgers believes he could play, he's going to get on the field and he's going to play.
But could Miami afford that, though, right?
I don't know.
Could Miami be, I'm just saying, we all think that the East is going to be a competitive division, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so if Xavier Howard says, I'm going to sit my 10 weeks and I'll be back week 11, which he's entitled to,
Mm-hmm.
right? He's totally entitled to do that. Can they afford to be weakened in that state and suffer any more losses? Because
no,
they could be in the mix. And if Xavier Howard is going to sit for 10 weeks, what are they going to go?
Why would you let him sit 10 weeks?
If they don't pay him right away.
But why? Why? Trade him. Trade him
because
at that point for peanuts.
They're not
can't trade him for peanuts. You're talking about one of the best corners in football.
I understand that. But what you're saying now is, okay, great. You're going to sit at home. This is our
So you're just going to give him
You
away?
work for me. I'm not paying you to sit at home. So I'm not paying you next year anyway.
Tyler, you're a franchise. You're a multi-billion-dollar
They're
franchise.
the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're
They're
a good
Dolphins.
team. They're a good team.
They're an okay.
They're first of all, they're favorite.
They're going to be.
They could be they're going to be a wild card team this year. I believe it. They're a very good team.
No way. You're
Tyler, no, I'm not. They're a very good team.
Regardless of where you think they're going to finish.
I'm not a
Tyler,
Tua fan, but they're a good team.
Regardless of where you think they're going to finish, Tyler, you're at least conceding that they're a playoff contender, right?
I don't think they're going to be as good as you guys think.
Oh, you're crazy.
I don't.
They were pretty good last year.
They're pretty damn good.
No, they did. They did play well last year.
They're pretty damn good and have a very good coach. I think Brian Flores
is an amazing coach.
He's a very good coach.
And did you just say he's not a very good coach? That's blasphemous.
No, he
he
said
is a very good coach.
He said he was a very good coach. First of all, I think that they're absolutely playoff bound. I'm not a big Tua fan. I don't think Tua is any good, but they have weapons now for him. They have a good running game. Their offensive line is much improved. This is a good team.
Trash.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Tua is trash. We both think that.
Trash.
We both think that. Yeah.
Right, but that's right. But they won in spite of him last year. That defense is what carried them to wins, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and look at that Rams game. Tua had to hand the ball off for a 2-yard touchdown and throw it for a 2-yard touchdown because the defense was picking off balls and picking up fumbles and returning them. You know what I'm saying? So that, you can't afford to let Xavier Howard sit out for 10 weeks before you make a decision. They need to make a decision before the season starts.
Well, no, there is no decision to be made. You have to trade him.
There is a decision to be made because they could work it out and pay him, right?
No.
Figure something out, restructure contracts, and try to pay him.
Sorry, I'm not. I don't negotiate with terrorists. No, that's not happening.
Well, he's already getting a good amount of money too.
Negotiate with terrorists. So, trust me, if you had half of the leverage or had earned half of the clout he's earned, you'd be using it too. So shut up.
It's also not like he's on a
I would,
deal
but I also listen. I'm going to tell you. Listen, we've all been in negotiation in life. Who normally wins?
The boss does.
All right. Xavier Howard is
but
his own boss.
But that's different. That's different from football. That's different from football.
No, it's not. He's not his own boss.
Did the boss?
Yes, he is.
Ezekiel Elliott
How's he his own boss?
Did the boss win in the Ezekiel Elliott deal? Did the boss win in the Dak Prescott deal?
Hold on. You're bringing up Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the worst owner in sports, and he's the single greatest reason why the Cowboys have been around for 20 years.
In professional sports, the boss is the player. LeBron James is the boss. He makes the decisions from the Lakers. Every one of those top teams. You go over there right now. Tom Brady, he wanted Antonio Brown. Did he get Antonio Brown? Did he get Antonio Brown?
He did.
Okay.
There's
he
a
is the
difference,
boss.
though.
The
There's
players.
a huge difference.
No,
LeBron and Brady are not Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard's one of the best quarters in the league.
Who's won nothing?
Yeah, a lot of quarters haven't won. Jalen Ramsey hasn't won anything either.
I understand. Jalen Ramsey, though.
What?
Again, you're talking about apples and oranges here.
No.
Jalen Ramsey
was
rebuilding.
Hold on.
The
Sorry,
Dolphins are
Tyler.
not.
Sorry, Jeff. First of all, you're saying that Jalen Ramsey is different from Xavier Howard. How?
Because Xavier Howard is not on a team that's rebuilding. That team is set, and as you guys are saying, are close to a playoff team.
The Rams are
your
not
Jaguars went to an AFC Championship game and were a drive away from going to the Super Bowl.
Go ahead, Jeff.
And then the team imploded.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Dude, honestly, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. The Jaguars were not rebuilding either, dude. The Jaguars were contenders. They were in the AFC Championship game.
I understand everything.
They were on the verge, and that's when he exerted.
And they had Blake Bortles as their quarterback, okay?
Right, and Tua Tagovailoa and Blake Bortles are probably the same.
Who? What?
Blake Bortles and Tua Tagovailoa, they're probably the same quarterback.
No, they're not the same.
Not even close. Not even close.
They're on the same tier.
Not even close.
They're definitely. As of right now, they're on the same tier.
No way.
Yes, way.
No way. Tua's better than Blake Bortles.
Not by a lot.
You mentioned Jerry Jones being maybe the worst owner in sports, and I would maybe agree with you on that. There's a couple people that were pretty close.
I would say Dan Snyder's the worst.
But just as an aside, don't you think Jerry Jones looks like the villain that's unmasked at the end of every episode of Scooby-Doo?
That is a very valid point.
Now, before we're done with football, I do want to get into this DeShaun Watson thing, and it's starting to blow. It's starting to build fire. And I with DeShaun Watson being out there, he's gone to practice. Now he's showed up to training camp and all that other stuff. What are you guys' thoughts? And Jeff, for you, DeShaun Watson, does he get traded before the season starts?
I mean, who knows? I don't think it's going to be very long. I mean, he wants out. He's reiterated he wants out. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a team that's going to want him.
Oh, there are two teams that really want him: the Broncos and the Eagles.
It should be three.
What do you mean three? Are you talking about seven? Who are you talking about? The Saints?
No. Well, yes.
The Saints probably can't afford him.
There are a lot of teams that should want him, but there's a team realistically that should go out and get him.
The Saints can't afford him, unfortunately, right now. They're going to trade a lot of contracts.
No. Go ahead. Let Jeff talk.
They only need to trade one contract, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're saying they need to trade a lot of contracts. They don't. They only need to trade one. That's it.
Yep.
This is gonna end badly for you, Speedy. This is gonna be like your Julio Jones moment. So when you're saying they got to trade a lot of contracts, that
wasn't Speedy. That was Tyler.
No, that was me.
Oh,
he's right. No, he's right. No, he's right. Tyler had a different team in mind.
Right. So when you say they got to trade a bunch of contracts, they got to trade one to acquire DeShaun Watson. Which one, Speedy?
All right. Who is your team, Tyler?
I mean, I would trade Michael Thomas.
He said the Saints. The Saints can't.
No, they don't have to trade Michael Thomas. They don't have to trade Michael Thomas.
They're not going to trade him now. He's hurt.
They only need to trade one contract. Which one, Speedy?
Which contract? Taysom Hill? I mean, that's the worst one.
Taysom Hill's, because Taysom Hill's, and they gave him a bunch of money. Taysom Hill's expires at the end of each year. So you can trade Taysom Hill's contract and not have any dead money.
Good luck with that. That contract is pretty bad.
Yeah, but you just said you trade him at the end of the year, you can get rid of it.
Yeah, you can trade him at the end of the year, and then that contract expires.
You know what's crazy, right? The Saints are in cap hell, but all their deals are relatively good. There's not a single contract on that team I look at and go, that's a lot.
Yeah, they're not locked in. You're saying that Taysom Hill contract is bad. Yeah, it's bad if it he gets hurt and breaks both legs and then they'd owe him money. But if he's healthy, that contract has a team opt-out at the end of each year. So they can just jump him for nothing and it won't hurt them at all.
That's interesting. It really is.
John also says, going back to the Dolphins, they have plenty of wide receivers that they can cut if they make that kind of trade. They don't need to cut a pass rusher.
They don't. They don't have any wide receivers they can cut. What are you going to do? Cut Devontae Parker? You're going to leave Jalen Waddle by himself again with Gesicki?
with a fragile Will Fuller too. That's not ideal.
Right. That was the whole point of drafting Waddle, was he could play the other side of Parker. If they're going to start cutting wide receivers, who's left to take up the slack? Nobody. That was their big hole last year. They had nobody.
Yeah, no, that's right. And Parker, even when he's good, he's like good 2 games a year. That's it.
You want the third team that
Here
should
for
go get him?
Devontae Parker slander.
All right, what? Say it again, Tyler.
I want Errol Marks to look at me.
What, what's that?
You want to know the team that should go out and get him?
Oh,
your freaking New York Jets should go get him.
You're out of your freaking mind. They just drafted a quarterback.
So trade Zach Wilson.
You're out of your mind.
And get Deshaun Watson.
They're not doing that.
Well, you're crazy. Deshaun Watson makes that
Errol,
team a Super Bowl contender.
Dude, honestly, Errol, you are crazy because, like, here's legitimately, and Tyler's making a very good point, by the way.
Thank you, Jeff.
Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback in the league. We've talked about this. You've even said, oh, maybe top 3, right?
Top 3, definitely. I think he's better than Pat Mahomes.
Oh, my God.
I do.
So you don't, but
and I have a reason to argue
if that's what you think, that's even better than. You don't say no to a guarantee.
I didn't say no. The Jets aren't going to do. They're not going to do that. They're not going to. They're not going to do that because they're not going to trade. They're not going to trade. With Joe Douglas and the way he's trying to compete and open up the cap room, he's not even right now. He's trying to figure out how he's going to maneuver this contract where he could bring in the players. Listen, I'm just telling you what Joe Douglas. There is no way in hell the Jets are going to trade for Deshaun Watson. They should, but they're not. So why bring it up? They're not.
In 60 years.
Well, how do you know Zach Wilson's not going to be a great quarterback? How do you know?
I know he won't be Deshaun Watson.
No. How do you know that? How do you know that? Do you know? Do you hang out with him? Do you know?
You want to know?
I'm just saying, you don't know.
Based on Jet history.
You don't
When's the
know.
last time you had a quarterback?
Josh, I mean, Tyler, you don't know.
Josh.
Yeah.
You
sound like him.
Errol, what's the likelihood? Be honest now. What's the likelihood Zach Wilson turns into a top 3 quarterback in the league?
I don't know, Jeff. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know what this team is going to be this year. We don't know with the weapons that they have, it's going to transition to success. We don't know. I don't know the percentage, but we haven't seen the kid play. But we have heard, and you have heard, that he's looked really, really good on the field.
I have heard that he's looked good, but that's also training camp. And
I understand that.
I'm talking, if you can get a guaranteed top 3 quarterback in the league, you do it.
But again, it depends on what you're going to have to give up. You're not going to give up your whole draft stock for Deshaun Watson, who you don't even, first of all, which is civil problems.
Zach Wilson back. You trade Zach Wilson, right?
They're not going to trade Zach Wilson when they can get him. The reason
if you're the Texans, you're demanding Zach Wilson.
I know that. But
okay. So that you're hauled up on a kid that's never played a snap in the NFL instead of a guy that's top 3 in the league?
First of all, it's going to be a lot more than Zach Wilson.
Okay, but he's going to be the centerpiece.
No, he's not going to be the centerpiece. Him and draft picks? You're talking about him, 2 first-round draft picks, and maybe a second.
So do that.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
That's why you haven't won a Super Bowl in your lifetime.
Save this clip.
And you're a
Speedy,
Giant
so in 3
fan,
years,
so.
Save the
Eli
clip,
won
in 3
2.
years, Speedy, we can play it back to hear Errol.
You haven't been to
about
2.
How he wouldn't do it when Zach Wilson is running up the anus of his offensive lineman and fumbling.
First of all, in the beginning, I wasn't even a big Zach Wilson fan. So you guys are talking out of your asses. Everybody knows that. That's one. Number 2, Joe Douglas is all about controlling the salary cap. He is not going to put a quarterback right now that's making $140, $150 million when he's trying to build a championship competitive. Even with Deshaun Watson, they are not a championship competitive team yet.
Don't you have a whole bunch of salary cap?
No, they don't. If you bring in Deshaun Watson, and all that stuff, and with all the in the offseason next year, you're gonna have to decide a lot of different things with the contracts and everything like that.
Who the hell is on the Jets right now that you keep long term?
CJ Mosley is right now. You've
got him locked up for what, 3 more years?
$85 million. No, that's more than that. It's more than that. They signed him for a 7-year deal.
Okay.
He's there. He's only there 2 years.
Okay.
So they have 5 years.
Then more than that because COVID he sat out.
2 years. He's been out for 2 years.
That still counts to the contract.
It's 2 years.
I thought they were saying if you sit out for COVID, you owe the year on the contract.
No, it's 2 years.
That's not true. All right, fine then. So You still have him long term.
The fact is, Tyler,
traded Jamal Adams for
Joe Douglas right now is all about making sure that he controls the cap. So if he has a player,
He's about winning.
What are you doing? What are you talking? How do you know he's
about winning?
He's building a team right now. He's building his roster. What you say?
DeShaun Watson
oh my God,
is better than every Jet on the roster right now.
Oh my God, Tyler, nobody is arguing with you. One player with what the team is building, you're not going to pay a guy $140, $150 million when you're not ready to win right now. They're not going to do it. The Jets are not
young.
He's 26 years old.
That's young.
Again, Tyler, you're not getting it. They're not ready to win now. Does that not sink into your head? So why would they bring in DeShaun Watson?
Besides the Bills, are you really afraid of anyone else in your division?
That division is the hardest division in football.
What division?
Are you
the
forgetting the
AFC
Patriots are in that division?
Yeah, that's the AFC East. That's the hardest division in football. You have Buffalo. That's a very good team.
Yeah.
Miami is going to be a good team this year. And the Patriots are going to be a really good team this year.
Yeah,
you have
Max
three
Jones
teams.
pans out,
Three
will be a
teams.
very good team.
So that is one of the best divisions in football. One of the best divisions
The
in football.
defense for the Patriots is going to be great. You know how you beat the Patriots? A quarterback. You know how you beat the Bills? Get a quarterback, Josh Allen caliber.
And how do you know Zach Wilson isn't that type of quarterback? You haven't even seen him. You haven't even seen him.
All I'm going to say is I heard this crap all Sam Darnold told tenure in New York. And they traded him the second they could.
Did they put pieces around Sam Darnold to succeed?
What?
Did they put players around him to succeed?
Is there pieces around right now that Deshaun Watson won't make better?
They put players around him, absolutely did. But that's, to me, it's still not, they're not good enough to win.
You know what's crazy? Rob Anderson was a Jet, right? Struggled. He was maybe a number 2, went to Carolina, and now he's a
He didn't
top.
struggle as a Jet. He played very well with the Jets.
He didn't do what he did last year.
What did he do last year?
He was a good. He was.
What did he do last year? What was his
Carolina.
numbers last year?
1,098 yards.
Great.
1,098. What was his numbers with the Jets?
With
I think his career high was 790 something.
Just go to because that's what he says. He's talking about numbers. He's saying
he played great last year.
He had one good season with the Carolina,
and it was his first year not with the Jets.
Speedy, go to the numbers with the Jets and look it up. When I bring up a name, look up the goddamn name.
His career high with the Jets was 941 yards and 7
Oh my God. Oh my God. So much different. What was his first year with the Carolina Panthers?
1096 and 3 touchdowns on 95 catches.
Oh, he had a better time with the Jets? He had better numbers with the Jets.
How?
He had 7 touchdowns.
He bagged the Cowboys.
He had better numbers with the Jets than he did with the Carolina Panthers.
I go with more catches and more yards.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I go with touchdowns. That's what wins games. That's what wins games.
So if he had 7 catches for 7 yards and 7
he had 900 and how many yards?
95 catches, 1,096 yards, 3 touchdowns with Carolina. With the Jets, his best year, 63 catches, 941 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
He had less catches and more yards. That was his best season. That was his best season with the Jets. Okay?
How?
Oh my God!
How does your mind work?
63,
he almost had 100 catches,
63
over
catches,
1,000 yards.
Okay, here's the
Pro
math.
Bowl numbers.
Jeff, you ready to hear the math? Here's the math. How many catches did he have with the Jets when he had 900 and some yards?
I understand
63.
he had more yards.
Okay, how
per
many
catch
how many catches to yards did he have when he played with his first year with the Carolina Panthers?
11.5 yards per catch on 95 catches, 1,096.
Okay, and you're going to tell me,
understand.
you're telling me
You're
that
looking
season
at one step.
I'm telling you his best season was with the Jets. It is true. It is true, Tyler. It is, Tyler. It is.
If he went up in yards and catches.
Come on, Tyler. I'm not going to sit here and argue this to the whole show. Okay.
I'm not. I'm flabbergasted.
You're flabbergasted. You just said that.
You guys haven't been good in so long.
What, the Jets?
Yes.
All right. So you
guys haven't been good in what? 10 years?
Listen, this has again. You bring up the Jets when DeShaun Watson is not even in the Jets' radar. He's not even. He should be, but he's not.
Okay,
because Joe Douglas.
That's all you need to say.
Because Joe Douglas.
That's all you need to say.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, you're stupid because you're not going to take a salary on when you're not ready to win now.
But numbnuts. This is the great part about DeShaun Watson. You don't have to win now. He's only 26 years of age.
And
he's a long-term piece.
And you have Zach Wilson at the age of 21, who you have control of him for 5 years.
And he might not win a goddamn thing.
Might not and might win. And what happens if he does? Tyler, what happens if
then
he does?
you play this clip back and you go, thank God we didn't listen to you.
I played a lot of clips that you have said, and which was so ridiculous. And I've said this many, many times on a show. There's a ton of things that you have said that was ridiculous. That is, by the way, your Baker Mayfield thought when you thought he was the second best quarterback. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I still stand by
I'm
that.
sure you do.
I'd rather have Baker than
second
Zach
best
Wilson.
quarterback. Yeah,
I projected.
And
him
you
to
said
end up
Lamar
being
Jackson
second.
was the worst quarterback in all of football, and he won the MVP that year. So that tells you how great you are when it comes to.
Yeah, he was a running back, a quarterback.
No, he was a quarterback.
No,
he
he
threw
was a
over
running back,
3,700 yards, and he.
That's not very good.
Really?
In today's game and age,
for a guy that ran over 1,000 yards.
Yes,
3,700
That's
yards.
the stat people care about.
Michael Vick, was he successful?
Successful? Yes.
Was he successful in the league?
Successful,
Okay.
yes.
I'm asking you questions.
I understand.
Cunningham, was he a successful quarterback?
Yes.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson's not as talented as either one of those two.
Warren Moon, was he a successful quarterback?
He was not as talented as either three of them.
Really?
Yes.
Did any of those guys win an MVP in 2 years?
No, they have not.
Okay, so
now
how do you know? How do you know when you brought up Pat Mahomes a little while ago? How many years has he played from Aaron Rodgers? 13 to 3.
Michael
now
Vick
all of a sudden,
played great in the playoffs. Warren Moon played good in the playoffs.
All right.
And Randall
And
Cunningham.
that's my shot at Lamar Jackson. That's the only shot, and Lamar Jackson has to prove himself.
But you know
in
what
the playoffs.
really happens in the playoffs?
What?
Quarterbacks have to throw the football.
Really?
Yes. Against good defenses? Absolutely.
Okay.
And guess what happened? Lamar Jackson got exposed in the playoffs.
Ryan Tannehill, did he have to throw in the playoffs? And he took the Tennessee.
No,
Titans
Derrick Henry ran over
My
three
question,
teams.
that has nothing to do with the question. Did Ryan Tannehill have to throw in the playoffs?
He had to make big throws in the playoffs.
You pick such
He had to
outliers,
make
it's so
a
funny.
big throw.
I'm
in the
sorry,
playoffs.
Jeff. What did you say?
You pick such outliers to try to make a point.
No, I'm making a point. He said that you need to
Tannehill
throw.
had to make
He
big
said you
throws
need
in
to
the playoffs. Absolutely, he did.
No, you pick. No, Tyler's point still stands. You need to throw the football in the playoffs to win. Not every team has the most dominant running back in the game. There's one of those guys, and that's what happens to exist on Ryan Tannehill's team. So that's the example you use? No. Why you bash Lamar Jackson because he can only run? The point still stands, dude. Lamar Jackson needs to throw the ball in the playoffs to win playoff games.
No question.
He doesn't have Derrick Henry, but you want to think that you're making a point because you pick the one outlier of an example just to maybe think you're right. No, 29 other teams need to throw the football in the playoffs to win. So shut up, dude.
Carl also says Warren Moon did not play well in the playoffs.
You're crazy.
What happened? Was it? What did Carl say?
Carl said Warren Moon did not play
How
well
old
in the
is Carl?
playoffs.
12?
No, he's probably your age,
15?
Errol.
He's my age.
Yeah.
Okay. Warren Moon was what, 40 when he played?
What with the he played later?
No,
with the
we
Saints,
saw you
but
saw Warren Moon
with
play
Houston, with the Oilers.
Jeff is only
was
2 years older than me.
What?
Jeff is only 2 years older.
Jeff's not the one arguing that Warren Moon
Carl.
didn't play
Carl
well
is
in
the
playoffs.
same age as me. He's around the same age as me.
You said Jeff.
But I'm just saying Jeff is only 2 years old. Carl's like you're younger than me. Okay. He saw Warren Moon play.
Harold.
You never saw Warren Moon play.
I did not.
Okay.
I know
I
he's
did.
more talented
Jeff
than Lamar
did.
Jackson.
He only looks like he's old enough to see Warren Moon play.
Yeah, Carl says
I'm
older
still waiting
than
on
you,
your
Tyler.
Jack Daniels there, pal.
What did you?
Jack Daniels is for trash people.
Yeah, what did you call it?
Absolute trash
Amateur whiskey or whatever you called it.
What was the whiskey you said to go get?
Oh, there's a bunch of them, dude. What kind of whiskey do you want, bro? There's a bunch of really good whiskeys.
What's the best whiskey I can possibly go get?
I mean, Johnny Blue is like, but you wouldn't mix Johnny Blue. Like, no. But you wouldn't mix Johnny Blue. You're not drinking, Johnny Blue and Cokes like you trash people drink Jack and Cokes.
First
you know
of all,
what I'm saying?
Whoa. There's nothing wrong with a good Jack and Coke.
Yes, there is. Jack Daniels is for trash people. Go hang out with the pores.
That's pretty good.
By the way,
that was funny.
Warren Moon in the playoffs, 2870 yards, 17 touchdowns, 14 interceptions.
That's not good.
And a completion percentage of 64.3.
That's not good.
That's iffy.
That's not good. And by the way,
better than Lamar Jackson.
no. What I'm saying is that yes, you need to throw. You need to make plays when it comes to the end of the game. You need to make the throws that's going to win you the game, no question. But Lamar Jackson still needs to prove himself in the playoffs. And I've always taken shots at Lamar Jackson. He's been in the playoffs 3 years. He has not done it. He's got one of the worst numbers in the playoffs that you could see. So
that's why it's ridiculous. You use the one example because he has Derrick Henry and he's the most dominant dude. for the most part, Tyler's right on this one, right? Just because
I never said Derrick Henry. I never said
Derrick.
Derrick.
You definitely did. You go, did Ryan Tannehill have to throw in the playoffs?
No,
because he had Derrick Henry.
Okay,
Don't use that example.
But it's true. But it's true.
So one.
He says you have to throw. There are quarterbacks that didn't have. Mark Sanchez, the 2 years that they went to the AFC title game, did he really have to throw?
He had to make big throws.
Did he win anything?
He went to 2 back-to-back AFC title games. That's winning enough. No, but he won 4 away games, and he beat your Patriots.
Right. So the example would still stand because to make a playoff, you need to throw the football.
You need to make. No, hold on. You need to make.
You're using examples of teams that never made it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jeff. Here's the thing. I could pick out games, and I could pick out Super Bowl contending teams that didn't. How about this? Peyton Manning. When he went to the Super Bowl with the Broncos, did he really have to make the throws?
No, he didn't even.
Okay, so
the offense didn't do it.
That's what I'm saying, Tyler. You don't always have to do that. If your team is structured to win, you can win with a decent quarterback, not a great quarterback. And Lamar Jackson, you can win with Lamar Jackson. You absolutely, with that team, you can win with Lamar Jackson.
Name the last 10 quarterbacks to win Super Bowls.
Tom Brady.
All right, so Tom Brady 5 times.
Peyton Manning, Drew Brees.
Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Russell Wilson. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, none of those guys know how to throw. I guess you're right.
But by the way, Jeff, how many times could you? And besides Tom Brady, don't bring up Tom Brady. How hard is it to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah,
it's very hard. It's very hard. So going to the Super Bowl is still like winning. You didn't win the Super Bowl, but you get all the way to the Super Bowl. That's a winning franchise. Going to an AFC title game, that's good. That's good.
By the way, you're saying, but the point you're making is, to get to the Super Bowl and win, you don't need that.
No, what I'm saying.
But the 2 examples that you're highlighting are teams that didn't even make it to the Super Bowl. The Titans, sorry, didn't make it. AFC Championship loss.
It's
the
fine.
Jets and your great Mark.
No, but I'm saying.
No, they can't win that big game without.
I mean, in Errol's defense, both those teams were 6 seeds, though, too.
That's not even a defense. I don't need a defense. My argument here is you can win, and we've seen teams.
Great defense.
Well, I'm sorry, you got to talk into the mic. Bring the mic down.
The Ravens have a great defense.
You can bring the mic down.
But even with that example, Tyler, and I get it. I knew that one was coming with stupid Jamal Lewis and dude. That's a time that's long past. That isn't modern football. That's not the way it's played anymore. To play football now, you have to throw the football.
Carl says, go watch Moon cough up that game against the Bills in the second half, losing to Frank Reich. But right, Tyler, I'm 12. And offense didn't do anything. Didn't Manning set the touchdowns record in a season with the Broncos? Yes, in 2013, when they lost the Super Bowl to the Seahawks that season.
We're not going to stay on this the whole show. So my argument here, and it's not, and we're talking about DeShaun Watson, going back to DeShaun Watson. Take the Jets out. That's not happening. There's nothing. They should, could, would. It's not happening. So it's not even going to be brought up. There's 2 teams that has been the big names that everybody keeps talking about. It's the Broncos and the Eagles. Now, where does he fit the best? I think the Eagles. I think that's where he fits the most. The Broncos are already
option number 3.
What is that?
Can I pick option number 3 that works and it's not going to be the Jets or any other wacky team? What about Washington? Why isn't Washington in that
would
mix?
Be scary. That would be a very scary idea.
Why is it scary? They have nobody to throw to.
Terry McLaurin.
That's it.
Terry McLaurin's a great player.
I know. It's just that's it.
They have a great running back too that can catch the ball out of the backfield too.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
they
have one wide receiver. That's it.
No, they have another one.
They have one great.
They signed Curtis Samuel as a slot guy.
No, because they also signed Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, but we don't know what Curtis Samuels is going to do on a team for San Francisco.
He's only been top 5 in the league in receiving for the last decade, but we don't know.
Decade? He's not a decade. Dude, he's not been in the league for a decade.
Dude,
he's been in the league for 5 years.
He's been in the league for 5 years.
The last 3 years, he's been top 5 in receiving. I dare you to go look that
on the 49ers.
No,
the Panthers. I'm sorry, on the Panthers. I'm the Panthers. That's what I meant. On the Panthers.
Right, so he should get an extra award for having to catch passes from Cam Newton.
Cam Newton was good in his rookie year, though, Jeff. 2017, he had a nice season.
Curtis Samuel wasn't there. He was.
Yes, he was. He was drafted in 2017. Yep, he was. He was their second-round pick. McCaffrey was their first-round pick that year. And
no, but that's not Cam Newton's rookie year.
No. In Curtis Samuel's rookie year, Cam Newton played very well in 2017.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, right. I thought you were saying Cam Newton.
No.
But wait, yeah, no, but go back and look. He's been top 5 in the league in receiving the last few years. Curtis Samuel's a damn good receiver.
Yeah, he's a nice player, and he's also a guy you can line up in the backfield. So he's a nice player.
Adam Humphries is there.
And Gibson is a really good running back.
Sims,
and by the way, they might be building a murderer's row on defense. So they are
definitely buying a murderer's row on defense.
They signed Kendall Fuller last year, who played amazing, and now they signed William Jackson in the offseason with that front seven. Yeah, that's
and don't count them out for Howard either.
Right, but I understand
Harold's
examples of the Eagles and the Broncos because that's what we're hearing about. But I think the Redskins should be, or the Washington
football team. You can't say that anymore. They're the Washington football team.
I know I'm a racist and a terrible person for I slipped.
By the way, does anybody like the Cleveland Indians' new name?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's pretty good.
It's retarded. It's awful.
I don't like.
Why are the Atlanta Braves allowed to keep their name?
No, they'll have to change theirs.
Yeah, I know. Why?
They will.
Why? And I've had this conversation a million times. These names are not derogatory names. They're things of strength, things of fear, things of we're proud that this is our team name. Oh, the Indians is no, get out of here. Get out of here and go to Canada.
Yeah, but we can all agree the Redskins is a slur, though, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like the Indians.
That's more general, yeah.
I guess Tyler's finding a gray area with Indians and Braves. But you're literally mentioning their skin color. Like if we called them the Cleveland Crackers, you'd be like, white people would be like, "What? You can't call us crackers."
Right.
The Cleveland Crackers.
I'd be fine with that.
But you know what I'm saying, though, right?
The Seattle Cracker Jacks. I think that'd be a great name.
But you know what I'm saying? The Redskin thing was a slur.
No, absolutely.
Right. They're probably the one team that should change it. But I guarantee you, watch in Texas. Oh, well, the Cowboys is an offensive name. We should change it. And
why the Cowboys?
Girls want to be Cowboys too.
No,
they should be cow people.
I actually agree with that. I think the Cowboys should change their name because I do think it's derogatory.
They should be cowgirls.
Cowboys should have to be associated with them.
the Dallas One Stars.
I think if you're an actual rancher and an actual cowboy, you should be offended that group of pussies is what represents you.
Well, now.
The Dallas One Stars.
This is crazy. Oh man.
I'd be like, dude, I've been out here chewing tobacco and herding cattle and doing like crazy work.
Stopping robberies.
And this is the group of people that you're going to associate with me. I would be offended.
Highly.
And by the way, I'm reading what Snug said, and I brought up one player. If I go back in the last 5 years, I could pick up a quarterback that went through the playoffs barely throwing, and they went all the way to an AFC or even a Super Bowl. Okay, I've seen it. So, including Peyton Manning, which I said Peyton Manning barely threw the ball, and he took the Broncos, went all the way to the Super Bowl and won. Okay, yes, the defense had a lot to do with it, and the running game had a lot to do with it too. But you can win with a quarterback that doesn't have to throw the ball all the time. He's got to make a throw here and a throw there to make sure that the sticks are moving. Besides that, you can win with a quarterback that doesn't have to do that. So,
except it hasn't really happened in the last decade.
It happened with Peyton Manning.
I mean, he could still get it done if he needed to.
And Brock Osweiler, we're going to laugh at that. Hold on. You're going to laugh at that name now. But he did play insanely well during that stretch.
He played great. He played
in the regular season. He didn't play in the playoffs.
But it helped him get the one
seed.
Came back. He's right. It did help him get the 1 seed, though. He won
right,
like 4.
But if you look at every other quarterback that's on that list in the last decade, and you look at Brady, Mahomes, Breeze, no, you're right. None of those.
Jeff, we all know. No, Jeff, we all know that elite quarterbacks have the best chance to win. There's no argument to that. But we have seen quarterbacks that you don't have to be elite to win. I mean, and that's what I've said.
But the examples, you're naming one a decade.
I told you Tannehill last year went to an AFC title game. Okay. I said that. I said, I brought up, how about Blake Bortles? Blake Bortles took the Jaguars to the AFC title game.
40 points on the Patriots.
40 points. It wasn't because of him. It wasn't because of him.
You're legit naming dudes that didn't even.
I'm just saying we have seen quarterbacks succeed in the playoffs without really needing to throw the ball. That's what I'm saying.
Carl says Trent Dilfer would be your kind of
No,
example.
that's 20 years ago.
Yeah, but that's 20 years ago. I'm talking. Yeah, but I'm not talking about Trent. I'm talking about now. I'm talking about
when people name Trent Dilfer. Has the
Trent
game changed
Dilfer,
in
Brad
20 years?
Johnson, Rich Gannon. Stop these names. Just stop.
I didn't
It's
say
a
that.
different game.
I didn't
Not
say that.
you.
That was Carl.
I'm saying everybody in general. Stop bringing up guys. It's a different game now. You need to throw the ball 60 yards.
I'm talking about the
You need
last
to
10
throw the
years.
football.
I'm talking about the last 10 years.
I don't ever agree with Tyler, but I'm on board with what Tyler's saying. You have to throw the football.
I didn't say, but I didn't say that you don't. But again, I'm going to go back and say this. We have seen quarterbacks succeed without throwing the ball. Now, succeeding doesn't mean that they win the Super Bowl, because it's very hard to win the Super Bowl. Even great quarterbacks that could throw the ball haven't won Super Bowls. Matt Ryan being one of them. Okay, so we can go back and we can. He's good. He's good. He's good. Yeah, he's good
at choking.
Good at choking in the Super Bowl.
He's good every other year type quarterback. I don't know if he was ever, except for maybe a couple years, elite, but he still was a steadily top 10.
He
was above average. Some years, yes, he was.
Him and Derek
He won
Carr,
an
the most
MVP. Yeah, I know. That's why I said
quarterbacks in the
some
league.
years. Some
And
years he has been.
Those three guys are absolutely unfairly scrutinized. I don't get why.
I got to be honest with you. I think that you could give almost anybody Julio Jones.
And again, Carl. My argument isn't winning Super Bowls. I'm talking about you can win. It's hard to win Super Bowls. Do you guys not get this? It's not easy to win. You need a good team. A team needs to all the cylinders need to work for you to win a Super Bowl. It is not easy. What I'm saying, I have seen teams win 3 rounds, get to an AFC title game, and lose in the AFC title game. But they got there. How did they get there? Because their quarterback wasn't any good. Blake Bortles being one of them. We talked about Hill. I mean, what's his? I'm sorry. Tannehill. We've talked about. If I go back in the last 10 years of quarterbacks that have succeeded and gone deep into the playoffs, I could find quarterbacks that barely did well in the playoffs and still were successful. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what?
They didn't win. But
you know what the funny thing about that is?
Yeah.
You ever notice the quarterbacks that you're naming that they don't need to throw? They all have to play on teams that have dominant defenses. They have to. Like the Jaguars were a lights out defense. The Titans have a great defense, right? Like, so you honestly can't. You honestly
were they good that year?
19 they were. Yes, they were. That last year they weren't.
Okay, so so if I go back and Speedy, I have to look at all the playoffs in the last 10 years. I could find quarterbacks.
Defense had Jalen Ramsey and
all right, that's fine. That's fine. I could go through teams. I guarantee I could find 1 or 2 teams that went far in the playoffs and their defense was okay.
Phillies was good.
Phillies was the 4th ranked defense that year.
I'm trying to think of like random fluky teams, because Arrow's bringing up a lot of these like average type quarterbacks. I'm trying to see if there was ever a scenario.
It definitely has.
They all play with dominant defenses to go that far. They all do because they have the flaw. They can't throw the football.
No, they have to do that to get there. Minnesota did with Case Keenum when he was there. 2016 was Packers Falcons. They were both offensive teams, and AFC was New England and the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers didn't have a great defense that year. They were more of an offensive team, and Big Ben was kind of up and down, banged up. I guess maybe that would count for something.
Right, but Roethlisberger could throw. The only year Roethlisberger couldn't throw was last year.
No, but he was definitely dealing with a lot of injury issues that year too.
I don't want to continue talking, because we could talk about this tomorrow because we're going to have a lot more time tomorrow. I don't want to go too deep into this, but we could definitely bring this conversation up. I'll probably do my research tonight so I can maybe find 1 or 2 guys that I can argue that my argument to be true. Now, I'm not saying that you need to throw to win Super Bowls. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying to win and get deep into the playoffs, not necessarily. We saw Rex Grossman go, and I know, again, that was like a long, long time ago, but Rex Grossman took a team all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, did anybody think Chicago was going to go to Super Bowl?
Right. And do you know why that happened?
Defense. We all know. We all know.
Scored 4 points in the
their running game and their defense. We know. Jeff, I remember it. And I remember who beat them in the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning. So we all know. I know
Captain
that.
HGH.
That's fine. That's fine. But my argument isn't that you don't need a quarterback that you need to throw. My argument is that we've seen quarterbacks succeed that weren't very good throwing the ball. And we've seen this. Michael Vick was very good in the playoffs too. Was he a really good thrower?
Right, but here's the bottom line on the whole thing, and you can move on. And that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's the bottom line. You can't name a quarterback that couldn't throw. They might be able to get there. Rex Gross might be able to get there, but you need to be able to throw and get it over the top.
Trent Dilfer.
Right.
He won
20 years ago.
I'm just saying that's one. Trent Dilfer.
Right, but it's not happening anymore. They all can throw the football now.
How about when Tampa won the championship? Who was throwing the ball when Tampa won the championship?
Brad Johnson.
20
years ago.
Okay, I'm just saying. I just named two quarterbacks.
No, you didn't. Brad Johnson chucked it all over the yard.
It doesn't matter. He was the starting quarterback of the team.
Right, and he threw the football.
Okay, and did he throw very well in that Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Yes,
they ran the ball all over the place in that Super Bowl. I remember
they ran the ball because they were up 40-something to nothing.
Because of the defense and because of the running.
defensive touchdowns.
And because they were running the hell out of the ball. They were running the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, that's so, Tyler.
It wasn't because of Johnson. Trust me. It wasn't.
No, it was because John Gruden.
Go look at Johnson's numbers in the Super Bowl. They were not good. Okay. And I'm sorry. I just named two. I could go up and down. I'll find Super Bowl championships that you could pinpoint and say that they weren't good. Peyton Manning, was he really good in the Super Bowl when they won? The answer is no.
No. Joseph Adai was their best offensive player in that game against the Bears.
So,
but Peyton Manning's never really played well in the playoffs.
I'm talking about.
Oh, he's safe.
I'm talking about when the Broncos went to the Super Bowl. Was Peyton Manning that good?
Oh no.
Okay, so that's three quarterbacks that weren't good in the Super Bowl that won. Okay. So I'm telling you, you can win with a quarterback that's not as good or elite. But again, now that the game has changed, I mean, you look at all the quarterbacks that have won over the last couple of years Super Bowls, they're all elite quarterbacks. There's no argument to that.
About to blow this game too.
Yeah, Peyton Manning had 141 yards on 13 of 23 passing in that Super Bowl against Carolina.
Well, he's the GOAT, right?
According to one crazy former co-host. I don't think anyone else thinks that.
And by the way, Carl, I wasn't saying it's a terrible. I'm saying they're saying 20 years ago. Now I'm saying if I go back and I look at 30 years, I'm going to say I could find quarterbacks that have won that weren't even good. And by the way, when
the game has certainly changed, right? Like
absolutely,
going back 20 years,
absolutely,
is the game different than it was 20 years
absolutely.
ago? Yes. You're pretty much
changes every 10 years. Changes every 10 years. Changes every 10 years.
Aaron Boone looks like he's about to have a.
And who said Peyton Manning was the GOAT? That person should be banished to an island to live
Tyler's former co-host that he likes to make fun of.
He is banned from here.
Yes, he is. Don't worry.
He should be banished to an island for crimes against football for saying Peyton Manning is the GOAT. Get out of here, dude. Did you know Peyton Manning and his brother only have half the Super Bowls that Tom Brady and his brother have? And guess what? Tom Brady doesn't have a brother.
Yes,
right.
Jeff, we know.
All right, let's get off football. Let's get into
Peyton Manning's the GOAT. Are you kidding? But Tom Brady wasn't jacking himself up with HGH or his wife's HGH or whatever. Get out of here, dude. This is outrageous.
I told you, he's the guy who keeps on giving.
Peyton Manning played with Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James and Reggie Wade. Look, dude, he played with all Hall of Famers. Tom Brady was throwing to two tackling dummies in a tomato can.
All right, we're right around a corner from the baseball trade deadline. What are your guys' thoughts about Joey Gallo being traded to the Yankees? I mean, obviously, it adds the left-handed power bat that the Yankees have been looking for. They didn't trade much to get him. They still have control for 1 year on him. I think you put him between Aaron Judge. You put him between obviously Giancarlo Stanton. You add yourself a very dominant but a strikeout happy type of guy. So what are your thoughts with Gallo getting a player of that magnitude for practically nothing?
Yeah, it was a good trade for the value. They got him for practically nothing. They need a left-handed guy. He's a good analytic 3rd/5th hitter,
and he's a great defensive player
in terms of the slots that they're in the Yankee lineup. And like you were saying, they alter the lineup. Again, it's not the only thing they need. They still need some other things in order for them to grow as a team, to be a more well-rounded team, because Tyler mentioned it to me before we started the show. They have a lot of those types of heavy strikeout guys, which is Gallo has always been throughout his career too. But he's definitely grown where he's not like the Mark Reynolds type anymore, and he hits 199 every year. He's still hitting 223, but it's still like, all right, at least that's growing.
I mean, going over there to Yankee Stadium with the short porch is definitely going to put the numbers a little bit higher. He might even hit for average even better, in Yankee Stadium because the stadium fits his pulling. So
he still has more home runs than singles in his career.
No question. Speedy, how about you, Tyler? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say I wish they didn't do it.
Why? They gave him nothing.
They did give up nothing. I understand that, but there's more pressing issues to worry about than the Yankees hitting.
No question, but I don't think they would have traded those prospects.
They gave up nothing for a player that is a power hitter that you needed at your position.
Oh, please catch the ball, DJ. Oh my God, he didn't catch it.
He caught it.
He
caught it.
Oh God.
He caught it. I don't know why he lost it, but
well, there's a bunch.
Oh, it could be the lights. Those lights, in Tampa that are always terrible.
Look, he even said
terrible in that Tropicana field.
That's a good one. Anyway, I wish they didn't do it. Go get Max Scherzer. Go get relief help. If you had done that, or get Trevor Story,
you're not getting Max Scherzer for the players.
They could still get those guys though. Anyway,
I get it.
You had an all-star. You got an all-star for.
I understand what
nothing.
You're saying. That's not what you should have done first. If you had those guys left over at the trade deadline, and oh, by the way, we're now going to add Joey Gallo.
Tyler
should not have been.
Tyler, they might not be done. Again, you gave up nothing for an all-star. Okay,
I get it. I'm not. The trade itself is very good. It's a very good trade. The Yankees.
They're not done. If they're done, first of all, I think the Yankees already know they're not making the playoffs. They made that move not just for this year; they did it for next year. And to me, I also believe. Look at what they traded. They traded 2 relief pitchers. They're not to get rid of a bullpen for just money. That's what they got. They got cash and maybe players to be announced, players that are probably no good. The Yankees are there right now. They expect not to win unless they make one of these runs. If Kluber comes back at Severino, the chances of that happening are slim. They got Joey Gallo for nothing. It was a trade that they had to do. And honestly, for the amount of the prospects that they gave up for, I mean, the Yankees won that trade. Absolutely did. Now,
I'm not saying they lost it.
Well, question is, does that trade affect anything in the offseason for the Yankees to do? I don't know. I don't know what Hal Steinbrenner wants to. And is Joey Gallo's contract that high?
No, he's still on his initial deal. So it's
all right. So that's a good trade. That's a very good trade because it's affordable.
You're not listening to my words. It's a fine trade. You have more pressing issues. You should have.
You have to give up a lot for Max Scherzer.
Errol,
you're not going to just.
I don't care about what they gave up. You get when you go to the grocery store. Do you get the things you know you need first, or you just walk down every aisle going, "I might need this. I might need this. I might need this. Oh, I definitely need this." No, you get the things you know you need in your fridge first. The Yankees know what they need.
Do you have those things to get the guy that you want? They don't have.
You don't know if you don't try.
How do you know they didn't try yet? How do you know they haven't made an offer?
Max Scherzer go to another team yet? Or?
Yeah. How do you know?
All I know is these are the teams that I keep hearing for Scherzer: Giants, Dodgers, and Tampa Bay.
I heard the Mets too.
Ben also says the Brewers. Scherzer trending as a possible trade to Brewers.
If the Brewers get Max Scherzer,
what'd you say, Jeff?
I've been hearing Red Sox.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be freaking fantastic.
Again, you're going to hear rumors and stuff like that.
But the Yankees' name's not even mentioned.
And then we've seen it. Did anybody think that the Yankees were going to get Joey Gallo? It wasn't even on their radar.
No, it was a very typical Brian
and we've seen for typical Brian Cashman. Everybody said the Yankees need a power left-handed hitter. They get one of the best left-handed power hitters in baseball, and it's a bad move, and they gave up nothing.
I didn't say it's a bad.
They gave nothing for him.
I didn't say it's a bad.
No one's saying it's a.
But what he is saying, you have to give up a significant amount for Max Scherzer, who, by the way, is 37 years old. His arm is absolutely worn out.
Not worn out.
It's worn out.
How's it worn out?
Tyler, it's worn out.
Raised 2.
Yeah, but you're using one. Again, this is what's ridiculous about this. You're just concentrating on one person, and I think Tyler's greater point is this trade is hilariously typical for the Yankees.
No, really?
Yes,
How?
it's a good
How?
trade. No one's disputing it. Because you need pitching. Go and find it.
They're getting Kluber and Severino back in a week.
You haven't seen Severino in a year and a half.
It doesn't matter. Again,
And Corey Kluber,
are you going to?
I hate to tell you,
so
didn't
you're
look
gonna,
great.
All right.
He had
So
to
you're
look
going to
great.
trade? Are you willing to give up Dominguez? Are you willing to give him? You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You don't know.
Dominguez,
I don't think you'll have to trade
if the Mets
Dominguez.
call, if the Mets call
have
you
to give
right
up
now,
something like that.
Hey, the Mets call you right now and say you can have DeGrom. We want
Hey,
Dominguez.
Speedy,
you're not doing it.
Speedy, you're telling me they're not going to have to give up top prospects for this guy?
Top prospects, yes, not Dominguez.
Really? Because
Dominguez.
that they only have 3 top prospects. So what are you talking about?
Bye,
They got
Medina.
3 of them.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Medina. Goodbye.
They're not going to trade pitching when they need pitching.
Do they have plenty of assets that they could trade?
No,
right?
they have 3 top prospects right now in the top
it doesn't
100.
have to be-
In the top
doesn't
100.
have to be prospects. Doesn't have to be prospects. You could trade Gio Urshela, right? You could move Voit back to.
Oh, really?
Let Gallo
you
play first?
You
Even
think
trade Voit.
You think the Nationals want Gio Urshela for Max Scherzer? Are you kidding me, Jeff? Come on,
one
man.
is saying Max Scherzer. It can be
Just like you take
another
words out of
pitcher.
my mouth, you brought Gio Urshela, so I'm going to go right at you. What makes you think that the Max Scherzer, with all the teams looking to trade for Max Scherzer, the Yankees are going to give the best type of deal that's going to make Max Scherzer? And how do you know the Yankees haven't offered anything? And it hasn't. We've seen Brian Cashman sneak up every time and pick up players that nobody thought they were going to get.
Who?
Okay, what do you mean? Who? We've seen them do it years.
Corbin. He snuck up on Patrick Corbin. He snuck up on Manny Machado. He snuck up on.
Oh, so you're bringing up.
I didn't want to name Machado.
So you're bringing up Patrick Corbin. You're bringing up all the things.
Could have
And
signed Harper.
And we could have signed Harper. Yeah, he's doing great.
Left-handed
Great,
power bat in
wonderful.
Yankee Stadium. He'd be doing.
And they
better
brought
than
Joey Gallo. But really, Joey Gallo has more home runs than Bryce Harper.
That's great. What are the averages?
Joey Gallo is going to be great for the Yankees, but the problem is when it's going to circle back to re-sign, because he's going to be up at the same time Judge is up. You're going to have to figure out who to pay, and you're also going to have to still figure out how you're going to afford all those guys and get more pitching to help Garrett Cole, because he's making $1 trillion. Like,
Garrett Cole is
outside everything-
first of all, Jeff, and they're not re-signing Gary Sanchez. They're probably not bringing back Voit. They brought DJ. They got DJ LeMay on a great contract. Hold on, they gave.
Who aren't they going to re-sign? No, I missed that. Who aren't they going to re-sign?
They're not re-signing Voit. They're not bringing back Gio Urshela. They have, and by the way, Clint Frazier seems like he's gone. Gardner's going to be gone off the salary. They have Gary Sanchez is going to be gone. They're not bringing back Gary Sanchez. So you're talking about all these players. DJ LeMay is on a great contract. Aaron Hicks is on a great contract. So what are you making faces? $10 million, and he's one of the best center fielders in the league.
Defensively.
No, he's a good hitter too. He's a good hitter too.
Right, but so you're naming all these guys. You're naming Voit. You're naming Urshela. Did you name Urshela? They weren't going to resign.
No, they're not.
No, Frazier. No, Clint Frazier. You said they're not going to resign Frazier. They're not going to resign Voit. They're not going to resign this guy. Right. They're not going to re-sign Sanchez.
Gardner's gone.
And I've heard you say this a million times. This isn't me saying this, but you're saying the Yankees aren't going to make the playoffs this year, and they're not going to bring back all these dudes. So why not trade them for some pitching and get something in return rather than just?
How do you? And again, how do you know they're not going to do it? Why are they going to do it with a 37-year-old that's ready to win now when they're not ready to win now? Because he's not ready to win now. No, he's not a top 5 pitcher. He's 7-4 with a 2.95 ERA. He's not a top 5. He's not a top 5. 2.95. And he's not a top 5. Go look at the top 5. What? He said he's a top 5. What? Very typical. Okay, Jeff, it's very typical what you say, saying that I'm typical.
No, this is very typical of what you do all the time. No one is saying it had to be Max Scherzer.
He is.
Hold on.
He is.
We're right here. 105 innings, 142 strikeouts, 2.83 ERA. So that doesn't shout. Hey,
how old is Max Scherzer?
I don't care that he's 37 years old.
I'm not bringing.
give a damn.
I'm not trading with top prospects.
One of the biggest parts of the Yankees.
They're not winning now. Do you not get it through your head?
You need a pitcher to help Garrett Cole this year, next year, the year after
and
that.
And they could do that in the offseason. And they could do that in the offseason.
Well,
they could do that in the offseason.
With who?
What do you mean with who? There'll be pitchers that'll be available in trade talks.
The quality of Max Scherzer?
Max Scherzer's 38 next year.
I don't care.
Okay, you don't care. How about this, Tyler?
Name another pitcher that's going to give you 150 strikeouts.
You will ruin an organization. You would ruin an organization.
How?
You
Because I'd actually want to win?
Want to win? Want to give away prospects for a guy that's 38 years old. And by the way, his arm could go at any time.
Garrett Cole's arm could go out at any time.
Garrett Cole is $29 million. He's 29 years old. That's almost
his
his
arm could go out just as easy.
It's an 8-year
Tommy
difference.
John's a thing.
He's worried about Max Scherzer's arm going out at any time, but he's super excited about Severino coming back.
By the way, Jeff, he's under contract. They still have him for 2 years. And by the way, Jeff, that's fine. He's still very
How
young.
old is Severino?
28, 29.
And he's missed more games than Max Scherzer has.
It doesn't matter. Again, you own the contract. You're going to have to trade away a huge amount. You're talking, whoever trades for this guy, I guarantee you they're going to give away their farm.
You know what's
Give
crazy?
away their farm.
The teams that are interested in Max Scherzer are pretty much in good position to give up the farm.
Okay, pretty much good.
Tampa Bay? Tampa Bay is going to give up a middle infielder. That's going to be the centerpiece.
Hey, all I know is
They're ready to win.
Franco's pretty much
They're
their
ready to
shortstop.
win now. The Yankees are not.
Win now.
All I know is the
What do
Red
you mean
Sox
now?
don't have
Win
to
now.
give up anything to get pitching. Chris Sale is on his way, son.
Anyways,
Snug says the Scherzer sweepstakes is one of the best stories of the trade deadline. Ben, referring back to the Brewers, Burns, Woodruff, Peralta, and Scherzer would be crazy. Yeah, they would.
It
Carl,
would be absolutely.
Carl says Tampa Bay, you're on crack, Tyler. Snug says Scherzer is headed to the left.
Favorite.
To the left coast. I'd meet him with a cupcake.
So
or
Scherzer
something
is
that
an
could
unrestricted free agent next year.
Okay.
He isn't. So why would you
Okay.
trade your farm for a guy you can
I
get
didn't
for
say to
free
trade
next
the
year?
farm. I'm telling you to make a phone call and figure it out.
First, before you assume that you have to give up everything in the world for him.
Because I'm
You're
telling you,
2.5 games back of the wild card.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right
You
now.
know what all those teams in front of you have? Pitching.
All right, stop screaming because you're
Listen,
your
if you-
mind.
Show says loud
you know,
now.
if you had-
Yeah, but
if you
don't
had
scream.
asked me
Not like
yesterday
that.
What Joey Gallo was going to get in a trade, I would have told you way more than what the Yankees gave up. So why just assume what Max Scherzer is going to go for? Why don't we wait and see what Scherzer goes for?
All right, so let's
then
wait and see.
decide
Let's
whether
wait
the
and see.
Yankees should have done it or
Let's
not?
wait. So let's wait and see because he's unrestricted. He's an unrestricted free agent, and honestly, I'm not giving up any of my top prospects for a guy that you can get in the offseason. And that's and they could get him in the offseason.
But if some team trades a used bag of balls and the bees for Max Scherzer, you're going to go, man, I wish.
All right. And when it happens, when we could talk, then we could talk, Jeff. But when it happens, if it doesn't happen,
but this is what I'm saying. So it's like we can, like if I had told you were going to get Joey Gallo, what would you have said you would have given up? A whole lot more than what you actually did, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So why don't we wait and see what Scherzer gets? Maybe he doesn't.
All
go
right.
for as
So
much
let's
as you
wait and
think.
see. And honestly, if the Yankees aren't ready to win, and I don't care if they're 2.5 out of the wild card, the Yankees aren't making the playoffs. And I'm telling you, they're not good enough. They're not.
So leave them.
Unless
No.
Kluber
That's right.
unless Kluber comes back and he's 100% healthy and he can stay healthy for the rest of the season, and Severino's half decent. Yes, they're not good enough. They're not good enough.
So leave them not good enough.
But Kluber doesn't matter either, though, right?
Yes, he
Because
does.
in the playoffs, you only use 3 pitchers, and if 2 of the 3 pitchers you're going to use are going to be Max Scherzer and Garrett Cole, you're 2/3 to a winning rotation in the playoffs.
Jeff, let's see where Max Scherzer is going to go. And we don't know if the Yankees are not offering something. We don't know. Just because
they
they're
never get pitching.
okay, whatever, Jeff.
You can't get Trevor Story, Joey Gallo, and
No,
who's the other guy that they're rumored to be in?
Trevor Story is definitely the big
Baez?
rumor.
No, if they get Javi Baez, I'll throw up.
Why?
No, they're in. I'm just saying they're in rumors for it.
Why would you? So you're
I
giving up
wouldn't- I
Glaber
wouldn't-
for a
No,
older
he's a free
version of
agent.
Glaber?
He's a better defensive player than Glaber.
I wouldn't rule out
Go get
Craig
Trevor Story.
Kimbrell for the Yankees.
I'm
They're
sorry.
not going to go get bullpen help. It's Brian Cashman. Brian Cashman's not going to do the right thing. He's going to do the media thing.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we're gonna go get a media darling. How great would it be to get Giancarlo Stanton to be the Bat Brothers?
Again, you won't even give this guy a credit after getting Joey Gallo for nothing. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You sound like an idiot.
Getting Joey Gallo is a win.
It's stupid. It is a stupid. No, it is a fan for nothing. For nothing. The guy that you say is a terrible GM made a move that actually makes sense.
You said it doesn't make them better.
Can he play?
Doesn't.
I don't know.
What the
I'm
hell
just
does it
asking a question. I don't know for sure. I'm just asking a question, right? Just
can he play first base? Yes.
Can he play first?
Yes,
base?
he's played first base. Yes, and he's a decent first baseman.
So, I mean, and that's one of the things I've been saying for years now that the Yankees need a left-handed first baseman that can, hit. So, yeah, I think it's a good move, but I find it hilariously typical. But
it is.
It's not hilarious typical. They gave up nothing for a guy that's one of the best left-handed hitters in baseball.
It's a good trade for a fourth place team.
Again, I don't, and I'll say it again and over, I don't think they're winning this year. So they made a trade where they still have control of him for next year, where I believe the Yankees will again try to re-up and make a run next year.
And he's not a 34-year-old type, washed up, we know what he is type player. Gallo's gotten better every year. You were actually right about him like a couple of years ago when I thought he was like, all right, he's going to always be that player.
It's not a shot at Joey Gallo.
No, I know. No,
it's a shot at Yankee fans. Get your head out of your ass. We haven't been good in a decade, and Brian Cashman keeps doing the same thing.
They haven't been good in a decade. They've made the playoffs almost every single year.
And what is that? What is that?
Again, Tyler, I'm going to say the hardest championship to win in all of sports, besides the NHL Stanley Cup,
is the Super Bowl.
It's the MLB. It is the MLB. You have to win. You got to win numerous amount of games, and you got to go through round for round and torturous rounds to get to where you want to go. I think
great.
baseball
You lose one time in the playoffs in the NFL.
Baseball is hard. Baseball's hard.
But are the New York Yankees kind of the version of like the Toronto Maple Leafs, where like the Maple Leafs lost to a Zamboni driver and the Yankees lost to a garbage can?
No, because the Yankees have won 5 championships in the last 20 years. I mean, they've in the last 30 years.
Right.
Okay. How many Toronto? Toronto hasn't won a championship in 60 years.
Everyone says the original 6.
Okay, so they're a completely different organization, and the Yankees have 27 championships to Toronto's how many? 3? Okay.
Well, they have more than that, but they're all in the original 6 era, so nobody cares.
So whatever it is, they don't have a lot. Okay, so
for about 5 years now, I've been saying
you're talking about the greatest franchise. You're talking about the greatest franchise in professional sports to a franchise
that's history.
That's still the greatest. It's still the greatest franchise in professional sports.
We understand that.
But this is what's funny about this. This is exactly
what's funny about it, Jeff. What are you going to argue? What are you going to argue that? Because they are. They are.
This is right. Well, I would, but you keep yapping. This is what's funny about it, right? Yankee fans love to go, the past.
Yankee fans.
If I stood here and told you the Celtics are the greatest, you would laugh at
Jeff,
me and you would go,
Jeff, I'm a Yankee fan that's straightforward. I just told you the Yankees aren't ready to win right now. I am an honest Yankee fan, okay? And you're telling me, well, Yankee fans, they're that. No, I'm a straightforward Yankee fan that thinks you're out of your mind. I do not trade anyone that is any remotely good in my farm system for Max Scherzer, okay? Not even close. I wait until the offseason when he becomes available where I can make the move. And if I think he's available and he's good enough to play for my team,
older.
The same thing. You're going to trade prospects, maybe even top end, maybe 1 or 2 top end prospects for a guy you only have control for your and you don't even know that's going to win you a championship.
I know it'll make my team better.
Not for 1 year.
Errol,
if that.
Errol, in all honesty,
not even half a season.
Let's be serious. Be serious for 1 second, Errol, right? Because in all honesty, all we've heard for the last 5 years is these prospects are coming. These prospects are coming. Dude, Clint Frazier stinks. He's never going to fucking pan
I never
out.
said that he wasn't. I said the Yankees are going to trade him in the offseason.
Right, and you're better off trading.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not, Jeff, because you don't know, and we've seen this. We have seen teams do this. I don't care what the past is. That you don't know what the future entails, and you don't know what these players are.
I mean, is Justice Sheffield working out in Seattle?
Nope. That's different.
Nope.
That's different. If you actually listen to the beginning of the show, I have said
Paxton
every single player, every single prospect the Yankees,
nope.
Every single top prospect the Yankees have traded have turned out to be bad, and it's been a good trade for Brian Cashman. Okay, good moves for Brian Cashman. This guy Dominguez, Medina, these guys. You do not trade these guys, especially what we've heard about them in the top 100. I don't care what you say, Tyler. For a Max Scherzer that you have no control after next year.
Estevan Florial was supposed to be a 5-tool, can't miss prospect. Now you never hear his name. Devi Garcia, the last time I was on this show, you said he can't miss. This kid's a stud. He's a future ace of the team. Don't hear about him. Don't see him. Don't even know his name is relevant anymore. Now you've on to another guy. Why don't we just stop and realize? No, I didn't want to trade Justice.
You weren't here when he was going
Jeff,
off
don't get me started with your stupid.
I told him.
Jeff,
I
don't
told
get me
everybody
started.
On the planet, James Paxton wouldn't be the
Jeff,
guy.
do not get me started. Can I speak for a second? You've been talking the whole fucking time. Let me speak. First of all, Jeff, you like taking shots at what I say. Jeff, you say a lot of ridiculous, retarded things, okay? And it comes out of your mouth, and I say something, and then every time you bring up my teams, from the Jets to the Yankees, meanwhile, I am the most hypocritical fan for my teams, and you take shots at my teams. When you sit here, and the only team that you take shots at, that you root for is who? Who? None of them, until you say something when your team... Really?
Turning out to be wrong. I shit all over the Red Sox earlier this year. Speedy, did I or not?
Yeah, you shit down. And what about them now? Jeff?
Oh no.
What about them now,
I'm
Jeff?
going to be a believer. I'm going to start believing, baby.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're in the hunt. So there you go. Taking shots at your team to bring it in there. They're in a hunt.
Right, but hold on.
Making you think that your team is in the hunt. Why? What makes you think they're in the hunt?
Because they're in first.
So what? We've seen teams go into the playoffs in first. What does that mean, Jeff? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
What are you
it doesn't.
talking
It doesn't. Right now, you think that this team, the way it's set up, is a contender?
Dude, they trade for a pitcher and they're getting Chris Sale back, and their rotation turns into.
Oh,
Sale.
so you think? Hold on, Chris Sale's coming back from oh my God, a UCL, and you think, oh my God, he is going to be the same Chris Sale? Get off it, Jeff. Get off it, Jeff.
Top three pitcher in the rotation.
No, he's not.
This is
you don't know what he is. You don't know what he is. He just took shots at Luis Severino, and now Chris Sale has the same friggin' thing, and he thinks he's going to come back.
No,
yes,
Chris Sale's slider is all world. That's what the problem is. They're concerned about a slider.
And Severino was a Cy Young candidate before he hurt his shoulder.
I agree.
Okay, so I don't want to hear this.
But if you went to bullpen sessions on time, and his manager didn't hold him accountable, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Oh, really? Manager?
And that is your daily shot at Aaron Boone.
But here's the other thing that you're failing to realize, though, Errol, is I don't need...
His arm was going when Joe Girardi was there. You idiot. You idiot. They gave him the contract after Joe Girardi was fired. They got that. He got that 3-year contract, 6-year contract.
Something that happened 2 years after he left.
No, it didn't. His arm was hurt before that. Errol what? Errol what?
I'm begging you.
Errol what? No,
You're
I'm begging you to stop. Your stupidity to say you're going to trade it. No, I'm grasping at straws. No, you're grasping at straws. Saying stupid shit. Stupid shit. You're going to trade top prospects for a guy that you can buy next year for nothing. And he's not going to make you any better to win a championship.
Errol,
they're not ready to win.
Give up realistically.
They're not ready to win.
37-year-old pending free agent.
I'm telling you right now, there are going to be teams that are going to give top prospects for him. Guarantee it.
Define top prospects.
Top prospects in
there. You think they're going to get a top
50
prospect?
Top 50 prospect.
I don't.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
top
see.
50?
What top 50?
I give up on one top 50 guy. Yes.
So wait a second. So the Yankees have
Scherzer with Cole.
They're not going to win now.
That would be the best one.
They're not winning now. Do you not get that? They're not.
But they could.
They're not, Jeff. They're not, Jeff.
How many starting pitchers pitch in the playoffs?
Jeff.
How many starting pitchers?
Three. Sometimes team plays four.
Right. So if you're three could be Scherzer and Garrett Cole and who's your next best pitcher out of Garrett Cole right now? Who's the next guy?
Kluber's coming back. Severino's coming back.
Probably.
They're both coming back.
Now.
You have Severino and Kluber coming back.
Any one of those guys can be in the third position, right? But if you're going Cole and Scherzer, and in the playoffs when you're only going 3 pitchers deep, that can win a lot.
How about this? Wait until Kluber and Severino come back and see if you're challenging to get there. I don't think
you, but you don't have time.
What do you mean I don't have time?
You can't wait that.
The trade deadline's Friday.
It's Friday. You
All right.
can't wait that long.
I'm not treating.
He's not coming back till September.
I'm telling you right now. Max Scherzer's getting traded for at least 1 or 2 top prospects. Guarantee it. The Dodgers, all these teams that are bidding for him, they're going to give. They're giving top prospects. Guarantee it.
Right now, I want you to define top prospect right
top
now.
50.
Just because
top 50 prospect. Top 50 prospects. Yes, top 50 prospects.
And you think he's going for 2 of them?
I think he's going to probably get 2. A team is going to give up 2. If they want to win, and they're ready to win, and they think Scherzer is the piece that's going to help them win,
I would give up 2 top 100 guys easily.
I want to see, what's that writer's name? Law. What's that?
Keith Law. Yep.
Right. Keith Law. I want Keith. I want you to print out right now Keith Law's top 50, right? Just so we have it. So when he doesn't go for anyone in the top 50, you could be like, guess what? I was wrong because you think he's going for 2 top 50 dudes.
So Jeff, so you're attacking me when I'm looking at the facts that the Yankees don't have enough prospects and they're not willing to give up the prospects that they have because they can get them for nothing next year. They can get them for nothing. Nothing. Okay? They can get them for nothing.
But you could also make a run right now. You could, and you could almost
They're not making a run
because Voit isn't good. Voit serves no purpose on that team anymore with Joey Gallo there, right?
Well, he's hurt.
But it doesn't matter. He can be healthy later. Just because he's hurt for the next week.
No, I get what you're saying, but Luke Voit kind of knows his time with the Yankees is up.
Yeah, probably. But the Yankees can still trade him and some other dudes, some other pieces that they don't need anymore, and put a package together for him.
How do the Tampa Bay Lightning have $76 million to give Braden Point? If being already $18 million over the cap. This is ridiculous.
They lost guys. They lost Blake Coleman, and they lost Yanni Gord, who was getting $4 million a year. So
they were $18 million over the cap
Yankees
already.
Only have one top 50 guy.
Right, but they lost some guys to free agency, dude, and they lost Gord to the Kraken. So his $4 million comes off the cap. Right, like they lost dudes, bro. Blake Coleman, he's gone. They lost guys.
Yeah.
They don't get to retain that money, even though those guys aren't on the team anymore.
I want to see how much how much they're.
I have the exact trade right now for Max Scherzer.
What is it?
Clark Schmidt and Oswaldo Peraza, and that's it.
So you're giving up Clark Schmidt, who's your best pitching prospect right now, to come up.
You told me Medina is off limits.
No. Medina's young.
Debbie Garcia.
Medina's young.
That's great.
They're not
Clark
trading.
Schmidt is
Why
a
would you
rookie
trade?
ball, and he's 25 years old.
Why would you trade pitchers right now when you need
Clark
pitchers?
Schmidt is 25 years old.
Clark Schmidt,
If
who's their
you
top
have not-
pitching prospect.
I understand. He's in rookie ball. He's 25 years old.
Okay. And he also came off a major injury.
Debbie
That's
Garcia
why.
is 22 in AAA.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep Debbie Garcia, and I will sell Clark Schmidt.
You're going to trade up Clark Schmidt for a guy that you can own next year for nothing. That's great. I don't think.
Why do you
not
think
try to win this year?
Because they're not ready to win this year.
Why
That
not?
lineup, that team is not ready to win this year.
What lineup?
I'm telling you,
You
Yankees
just brought in
lineup.
Joey Gallo. You said it's a great deal. Why are they not ready to win now?
It's a great deal. They're also a strikeout lineup waiting to happen in the playoffs. They don't hit for average.
They
And
don't
in the
hit
playoffs,
for average.
They
You're
don't.
right. That's why the Joey Gallo thing makes no freaking sense.
It does make sense for a regular season if you're making runs and you add some hitting to the end of the beginning of the lineup with DJ LeMahieu. You have something at second. Either you decide what you do in Aaron Judge, you're going to maneuver that lineup. You don't have hitting for average. You have 1 or 2 guys that can hit for average, and that is it. So they're not ready to win. So I don't make that trade for Max Scherzer. I take it. What?
Seattle could go get him.
No, nobody's
Seattle or San Diego.
Dodgers. I'm going to tell you
Or
the
Tampa
teams:
Bay.
the Brewers, the Dodgers, and the Mets. That's who are going to get him.
The Mets
The Mets are going to.
Brewers don't have anybody.
What do you mean the Mets and the Brewers don't have anybody?
They don't have anybody that the Nationals are going to look at, and the Nationals are going to screw the Mets.
Yeah,
0% chance the team that most hates the Mets wants to help them. 0% chance.
No, I know that.
The Brewers don't have a top 50 according to Fangraphs.
No, that's
prospect
not
list.
true. That's not true. Garrett Mitchell's top 50.
Okay, you probably have to include somebody else on the main roster too, if that's the case.
For Max Scherzer?
Yeah,
For Max Scherzer?
for Milwaukee.
Yeah,
Let's just.
yeah,
I don't know why we
yeah,
aren't talking about it because we don't. And we don't even know if he's going anywhere. Okay, so
Philly could do it.
we don't even know
I'm not
where
going
he's
to trade him
going.
to Philly.
Well, no, I agree with you, but I'm just saying.
Also,
Philly's
Philly's got a lot of money issues. I don't know if they could afford him.
Oh, it's for 3 months.
So
it's for 3 months to ensure you make the playoffs.
Ben says Brewers also acquired Eduardo Escobar from the Diamondbacks for prospects
Great
Cooper
trade.
Hummel and Alberto Kiprian. Carl
Great
says
trade.
Cubs gave up top prospects to get Chapman for 3 months, and he was unrestricted, but Cubs were more talented than this Yankees team. Ben says Mets, Dodgers, and Brewers are top favorites to land Scherzer. Snug says Mets, Brewers, Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers are going to.
Are 3
The
favorites.
Dodgers will get him. I know. that.
Snug says Scherzer is going to the NL West.
They have the best farm system in baseball. The Dodgers.
Right.
Just find the pitcher that's abused a woman. That's who the Yankees are going to get.
Snug says he's still hitting 225 from
I would
Gallo.
trade Domingo Herman right now for a bag of peanuts.
Snug says Devi Garcia and I like to skip rocks down by the river, but unfortunately he gets the yips. And now
Yeah,
we
the
like
Yankees
throws rocks to
pitchers.
the trees.
Pitchers hit women, and the Red Sox fans are racist. So That's all I'm going to say.
Stock says, I don't know. Having the best record in the
so
league
funny.
usually means your team played the best in the league.
No, it's so funny that you say something, but you can't even admit that's true when it's been said by plenty of players that they are. Even your own players, Kyrie Irving over there saying that they're racist, and then everything, and then you have Stephen A. Smith because even another. How many African American and Spanish players have said that the Red Sox and Boston fans are racist? How many?
Let me speak on this because this will be fun. Well, hold on. Yeah. You want to know what that happened? Something got said to Aaron Jones, and you want to know what happened? Red Sox fans the next day gave him a standing ovation because that one person doesn't represent all Red Sox fans. He doesn't. But you know what happens regularly with Yankee fans? They throw things at players constantly.
Really?
Trash bag fans.
Really?
Did Verdugo just get hit with a ball?
Really?
You know, it's crazy. Cliff Lee didn't come to the
you're
Yankees
bringing you're bringing up what happened this year, and it's been going on this year. It hasn't gone any other year. So don't give me this crap, Jeff, because no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't, Jeff. Yeah. Bring it up. Bring it up. When?
Remember when A-Rod ran to first and slapped the glove, and the call didn't go the Yankees fans' way, so they threw everything on the field?
Oh, and you're telling me this never happened with the Boston Red Sox fans?
You
haven't seen it in Boston? You haven't seen it in Boston? Get out of here, Jeff. Jeff, don't tell me Boston fans aren't what they are, because you make it seem like they're just so nice and so sweet.
New Yorkers are trash. They throw things
really
all the time. They threw things at
trash.
They throw things at Verdugo.
I'm not. First of all,
by the way, you're saying. And here's what's funny is you're going, oh, that happened last year. That doesn't count. That happened, right? Dude, the Aaron Jones thing, Jones. Hold on. Was it Aaron Jones? I'm going to screw up his first name. Who's the Orioles guy?
Adam Jones.
That didn't happen this year either. So why are you bringing up the past? If I can't use the example of fans in that A-Rod example, then you can't use the Aaron Jones thing to call Bostonians racist, because that didn't happen this year.
Yeah, how about this? Boston fan arrested for throwing water at Kyrie Irving. There's one just recently. There's a fan. Happened this year. How about we bring up that? How about that? He was a Boston guy. He's from Boston. 21-year-old Cole Buckley throwing something at a player. So don't get out of here, Jeff. Get out of here.
I don't think it has to do with Kyrie being any type of way. I think it has to do with the
How about this?
Kyrie
Alex Verdugo upset fan who threw something. 2021. Oh, here. Alex Verdugo upset a fan who threw a baseball at him.
That was
hit him with it, by the way. And that was a Yankee fan. Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. At a Boston game.
No, it was at Yankee Stadium.
No, this is at Boston game. This is at a Boston game. This is at a Boston game.
Against the Red Sox at Yankee Stadium. Jeff's right about that.
I'm reading what it says right over here.
Yeah, and so you're wrong. You can't even read correctly. That happened in Yankee Stadium last week.
Hold on. I'm looking at past times where fans were throwing things, because I just told you a bottle. I'm looking at past times that this happened. So don't give me your crap, Jeff, because it's happened. It's happened at Boston games. It's happened before. So don't give me that. It's not just Yankee fans. That's being hypocritical for who you are. You like to take shots at New Yorkers and attack.
No, you're hurt. You're hurt because
I'm not.
you're like,
I'm not. I don't give a crap, Jeff. I don't give a crap. The Yankees don't pay my bills.
Yankee fans are trash bags.
And so are Red Sox. And so are Red Sox fans. And so are Red Sox fans. And so are Red Sox fans.
Hey, trash beverages for trash people.
You've hit a nerve with this Jack Daniels thing. You need to calm down.
First of all, Red Sox fans are just as racist and just as disgusting as Yankee fans. So don't give me your crap, Jeff. Don't give me your crap, and you know it's true. You know it's true.
You don't see So, but your point stands. Yes, a fan said something racist to Adam Jones.
One person? One fan? Yeah, okay.
And it's completely out of line. But what happened the next night? Everyone gave Adam Jones a standing ovation, correct? Did anyone?
So that makes it all right. So that makes it all right. So that makes it all right. CC Sabathia has come out plenty of times saying that the Red Sox fans were saying racist things. How many times have we seen this? Brewers fans, 2 years ago when the Brewers played over there with the Red Sox, a Brewer, I don't even remember what Brewer said that there was racist terms coming out from the audience. So don't give me your shit, Jeff. That's bullshit.
What I'm telling you is,
Lorenzo
what I'm telling you is, Bostonians came together and said that racist person doesn't represent our community.
Get out of here! You've heard it plenty of times. So you're going to say it's happened more than numerous times, and you're going to say that it doesn't sell it. Get out of here.
Did Yankee fans give Verdugo a standing ovation the next night? They did not. They're trash people.
So because the Yankee fans didn't applaud Verdugo, they're so bad. Get out of here, Jeff. That is crap. You're selling that, Jeff? That is crap. That's crap. That's crap. That's crap, Jeff. That's crap.
New Yorkers, they're all bottom of the barrel.
Get out of here. And that's coming from a Boston Red Sox fan. That's coming from a Boston. That's from a Boston fan.
New Yorkers are so respectful.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that. Nobody said New York. I'm not sticking up for New Yorkers. But don't sit here and tell me that Boston fans aren't jackasses too, because they are. They are. They're disgusting, despicable people.
I literally can't even name a Boston player that left, so we're going to throw things at him like you crap.
I just told you. A fan just threw a bottle at Kyrie Irving. What are you talking about? That just happened.
No, but see,
by the way, he threw it at a New Yorker. Brooklyn.
That fan believes the same things that Kyrie believes. He thought the Earth
so
was flat and there was no gravity.
So you're saying it's okay for. I'm saying that it's not right for a Yankee fan throwing at it. How about a Boston fan throwing at a New Yorker, a Brooklyn Net, a New York player? So don't get out of here, Jeff. You think you're Boston?
Bags.
Yeah, you're
trash bags.
What are you laughing at, Speedy? Don't put a smirk on your face.
Bottom of the barrel Earth people. They're just scraping the bottom.
Flat Earth people.
Yeah. Here's the trash. The Boston Red Sox fans. Okay, Boston fans. They're trash.
They're the bottom of Jack Daniels.
Racist, disgusting. They're disgusting and
Daniels
racist. And if you're going to sit there and tell me, and listen, I'm not sticking up for New Yorkers because I'm a New Yorker. I could give a shit. Okay, I'm sticking up for what you're saying, which is complete bullshit.
There's no sticking up for New Yorkers. They're trash
and
people.
so are Boston.
Ugh. Your best representative is the Bees. You guys are horrible.
Snug, we were referring to top 50 prospects earlier. Carl also says they traded Tyler Johnson to the Blackhawks too, for referring to the Lightning. Dude earned it. He was great last year. Brewers has the best NL pitching staff already, Snug says. Breaking news, Max Scherzer traded to New Jersey Jackals, Snug says. Snug is laughing. New York fans are awful. Ben says Verdugo is a good
That's coming
kid.
From a Boston person.
Ben says Verdugo is a good kid, went to my high school. Jeff Snug says Jeff is a gentleman, also very funny and honest. If a Bostonian threw something at a New Yorker, it's probably okay. Beav is the king of Long Island. We'd all have to move if that was the case, Snug.
Anyways, I want to finish.
We already got one jackass running this state. Please don't make the Beav another one.
I want to I want to finish up with the NHL, and Dougie Hamilton signs with the Devils. So there goes your Dougie Hamilton thoughts. He goes to the
$9 million a year, 7 years, $63 million contract. For
is the trade? First of all, is it open right now? Was it like what is this trade deadline for the NHL or what? Free agency.
Free agency.
Oh
no, free agency just opened.
Oh, it just opened today.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
I don't think there's a top free agent left.
Talking to the mic, you can hear.
I don't think there's a top free agent left. I think everyone signed today.
Well, Zach Parise and Palmieri is still available.
No.
Yeah, Parise is going to be an Islander.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard. Which is not bad.
Dude, that's a great depth piece. Like he's going to be
if he plays
second or third liner, he's going to be good.
Yeah, he was a healthy scratch on a Minnesota team that had better depth than the Islanders do offensively. So he'll play.
I think the Bruins did great today. The Bruins did awesome.
Yeah, I like that move they made for Foligno.
Well, I mean, which one? They made 7 of them today.
No, I was talking about. I saw Foligno. I was talking about Foligno.
Allmark's also very good because Rask.
Allmark's great. They got Mike Riley back. They went and got Derek Forbort.
I want to see Vladimir Tarasenko. I want to see.
And they re-got Krejci again. And they re-signed Taylor Hall.
Well, we knew they were going to re-sign Taylor Hall.
Right, but they got Krejci back too. That's big.
That's huge.
Yeah, but you didn't like Krejci.
No, he didn't like Krejci's contract. Jeff didn't like Krejci's contract, not Krejci the player.
I love Krejci, but I don't like it at $7.5 million a year.
And what is he getting now?
It at $4 million.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm interested to see.
And I love Foligno at $3.5 million.
Yeah, that's good.
Foligno played on lines with Coyle too in Minnesota too, so they might have some chemistry.
Is there
what I'm saying.
Is there any free agents available?
Yeah, there's a ton of them left.
No, I mean I'm talking about good, big names, big pieces. I mean, I know Parise,
I think, are the
Palmieri's a good player. I don't know what you're talking about. Palmieri's a really good player.
Who said Palmieri?
No, I'm talking to Tyler because I said, "Oh, Palmieri is
I said no. I meant Parisi, but Palmieri re-signing with the Islanders isn't really
what?
I mean, does it really count?
Yeah,
I mean, no one really thought he was leaving.
Yeah, he does. He's a good player.
I understand that,
Yeah, but you want to know what? That's a win for the Islanders though, because I get it. I'm not trying to pick on you, Errol, but they've had guys that have just told them they were going to stay and leave, like Tavares. So re-getting Palmieri is good for them. That's a great get for them, bro.
Yeah, I understand it's a good sign for the Islanders, but if Parise is healthy, all right, great.
Parise is healthy. He was a healthy scratch all season.
He was a healthy
long.
scratch in a lot of games, yes.
Re-signing Palmieri is a good get for them.
Right, but he also can blow at any moment here.
Oh, sure. I'm not denying he's not injury prone.
Any team could blow at any minute, Tyler. What does that mean?
He's very injury prone.
A lot of players are.
Parise to be a first-line player.
He's not. He's going to be
a third-line player.
He's going to be a third-liner, dude. That's
I
a great
understand.
third-liner,
He's a great third liner. He's even a good second
and
liner.
you want to know something? For what the Islanders had at their first line, they could put him with Barzell.
Yeah, they could.
They could put him with Barzell. With
Andrews right over Leo Komarov.
They absolutely could not do that because Barzell is so overrated that he wouldn't help Parise.
That's a good one.
By the way, the list of most of them left. Tyler seems like he's right in this case. Outside of Krejci and Tuukka Rask, which Jeff, I don't know, did they keep him already, Tuukka Rask?
No, but they're probably going to end up keeping him because he like 3 days ago he had hip labrum surgery, so he's going to miss 8 months, right? So they went and got Allmark. They traded Vladar today for a third-round pick. They're going to end up trading DeBrusque because they can't make Krejci's contract available until they free up some salary cap space. So DeBrusque is going to be gone. But they got Swayman and Allmark. Linus Allmark didn't win a lot of games because he played for Buffalo and that franchise is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, he has upside.
Dude, he led the league in save percentage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Tyler's right in most of the cases. The free agents left are mostly older wingers, as it is anyway. Brandon Saad, Corey Perry, Eric Stahl, James Neal, Tomas Tatar, who've been, again, flash in the pan good at times, but mostly are old guys. So
there's going to be guys that are going to be trading. I mean, Tarasenko's going to be available.
Well, yeah, of course.
I have to ask a question because you guys are trash barrel New York people. Because I saw something today that I honestly don't know what's going on. And there was like a huge controversy over some team signing Tony DeAngelo.
Yeah, Carolina.
So why is signing Tony DeAngelo like
you mind if I take this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tony DeAngelo is a terrible teammate and a terrible person to have in your organization because he's a little bit of a loudmouth and he doesn't get along with teammates. So the Rangers
do. Like, there's a lot of people that are like loudmouths that don't get along with people.
He punched the goalie or went to go punch the goalie in his face. And
it looks like the Islanders, by the way, are signing also. What's this guy's name? Alex
Goligoski's a veteran defenseman.
Yeah, they're
Goligoski's a good player. But
bringing him in.
So what's the Tony DeAngelo thing?
So Tony DeAngelo and Gergachev got into it and got heated. Apparently they had to be broken up. Some people say they were punches. Some say they weren't. Depends on where you read. But after that, they sent him down to the minors, and he has not been heard of since. And they tried to trade him. He had no value. So they bought him out. And the next day, he signed a 1-year deal with Carolina. Here's the thing, though. If the dude keeps his head on straight, he's a talent. He's absolutely amazing.
Right, but there were people saying that they should boycott Carolina for bringing him in and punching a teammate.
He said a lot of things on his podcast that people don't like, which I don't. That part didn't bother me. Freedom of speech. The real thing that the boycotting thing really comes from his support for Trump. That's really where that goes.
The Rangers signed Greg McKegg.
Yeah, that's great. Whoop-de freaking dude.
Greg McKegg's a solid player.
No, he is a solid fourth line guy, and that's great. The Rangers right now are just listen, and I want this to go on record, and I want everyone right now to understand where I stand on this. The Rangers are going to make a grave mistake. They're going to get Jack Eichel, and then they're going to ruin their organization like they did when they brought in Yager. So that's where this goes.
I think Eichel's going to be part of the Minnesota Wild.
The Wild are out. Now it's down to the Rangers and
well, Anaheim and the Kings are out too. So
yeah, it's just the Rangers.
I thought that
and
was why they bought out Parise and Suter to begin with, so they could afford Eichel.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But Minnesota's out now with that because
I read there.
I don't think Minnesota's out.
The Wild might
Minnesota's still in.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
I know there are
two
teams left. The Rangers and somebody.
Okay, they might be the other team.
I think it's Minnesota
because Minnesota has a lot they could trade too, and they have a team that
I'll look this up.
They have a team that's very young as it is. They made a lot of good trades with their past veterans that warranted this, and they can definitely make that kind of thing work. They have a load of defensive depth, so they can even trade any other younger roster players.
Dude, just imagine pairing Jack Eichel with Kirill Kaprizov or whatever that Kirill is. That that is?
That's exactly how you pronounce it. Yep.
Yeah, dude, that dude is look out, cook out. That dude can score.
Snug says that, or Carl says, my bad. Tyler, Jamarcus Russell, or Tyler Wilson.
Tyler Wilson.
He's a Utah's quarterback in the past. If the Beav, Snug says, if the Beav ran for mayor of Long Island, I'd stuff the ballot box just to see what happens. Ben says Penn signed Dominic Simon to 1-year deal, signed Brock McGinn, and re-signed Evan Rodriguez. Carl said he could post the flyers at Setuha Karate in Ronkonkoma. Ben says,
don't bring up Ronkonkoma. Ronkonkoma's not a place.
Ben says Brock McGinn signed a 4-year, $2.75 million deal with the Pens. And then Carl says, how about 4 of the top 5 picks in the NHL draft were from University of Michigan, at least top 2 picks? No, Carl, you're right. It was 4 out of 5 were from Michigan.
I mean, don't be upset about Ronkonkoma, Tyler. That's the gateway to the Hamptons. I mean, honestly, dude,
we're like an hour and a half away from the Hamptons.
Dude, think about how happy you must be to see Ronkonkoma after coming through.
I grew up in Ronkonkoma. I don't want to go back to that shithole ever again.
I mean, better than CI.
No, it's not. No, it's really not.
No, yes, Ronkonkoma is.
No way.
Yes,
dude, I see heroin needles on the sidewalk.
Trust me, it's better
Get
than CI.
out of here.
It's better than CI. It's bad. CI's bad.
Ronkonkoma's
He's right.
Ronkonkoma's not walking.
CI's bad.
By the way, I've got the report up. The Wild are out. Yeah, apparently to Michael Russell of the Atlantic, whatever. So as of Friday, TSN saying Rangers, Ducks, and Kings.
Would you rather
and
live
maybe
in
Montreal
or be Bee's neighbor?
Where's Beeve live?
Iceland. Oh no, Bayshore he lives in, right, Errol?
Oh,
yes.
the Beeves neighbor. I hate all my neighbors, so it doesn't matter to me.
Rather be neighbors with the Bees?
Yeah.
Dude, yikes.
I can't stand going to Ronkonkoma. I cannot stand it.
I'm just reading some things that are going on with the NHL right now. That's all. Because I'm looking at trade talks more than free agency now. You know.
Honestly, though, if I'm Tarasenko, I stay. Buchnevich and him would be great line mates. Great line mates.
They're saying that
the first line player,
the two leads, Tarasenko or the Islanders.
No,
and
Tarasenko is, but
the Islanders and the Kings.
I think Buchnevich can play anyway.
The Islanders or the Kings are the 2 top teams to get him.
Okay.
Get who?
Tarasenko.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah, especially if the Kings are out on Eichel now, that they could definitely.
No, the Kings are in on Eichel.
Oh, the Kings are the last one in
Kings,
on Eichel. Oh, there's an Anaheim. Okay.
Kings, Ducks, Rangers, and maybe Montreal.
Oh, okay.
I wish the Bruins
as
had
of
salary
like
cap for
4
Eichel.
or 5 hours ago.
I don't think the Brewers need Eichel. They don't need him.
No, I mean, I wish the Bruins had the salary cap space for Eichel because that's who he practiced with today. He practiced with the Bruins today.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, $10.5 million. I mean, that's a lot of money for a guy that has a bad neck.
I don't want Eichel. I truly do not. Right. I don't want.
That's scary with the disc problem that he has in his neck. And yes, I had the same disc problem he has, and I'm 100%. I'm 100%.
The problem is that's what top players get now. Like that $10 million is what everyone.
Yeah, of course.
Like, here's what's scary about the whole thing. Not just using the Bruins as an example though, but the Bruins are paying $1 million more this next upcoming year for Bergeron, Pasternak, Marchand, Hall, and Krejci. Right? It's $1 million more for those 5 players than it is for Marner and Austin Matthews in Toronto.
It's crazy.
Nobody said the Leafs were smart. Carl says, "Is Marc-Andre Fleury?"
No, but I'm just highlighting that. Like that's what I get it.
If I was Toronto, I'd trade Marner.
He's been rumored for the last 2 years.
I would trade Marner right now.
$10.5 million is just what those kind of guys get now. Marner's getting it. Matthews is getting it.
You should have done that before. Trade him and then kept Hyman.
I mean, you can't trade Tavares, and Tavares to me is going to hurt them more than anything because 1, he's slow, 2, he's getting older, and 3, he just can't. He just got a really bad injury. So
I would still trade.
Tavares is the guy they should trade.
Anywhere he goes, fans throw things at him.
I'm just saying, it has nothing to do with throwing. Out of all those guys, the 3 high price guys that they have over there, I trade Tavares, but I don't think anybody's going to take that contract on.
Carl asks, is Marc-Andre Fleury going to retire after being traded to the Blackhawks?
absolutely.
No.
If so, why did the Blackhawks roll the dice? They had to know that he might retire if they traded for him.
He's not. He's
you know
not
what's crazy? The guy that they traded to Vegas for him is not going to play for them. He's still going to play for the Blackhawks. So,
yeah, they didn't get anything back.
Yeah,
Vegas,
that's
which is weird. I'm surprised they would do their kind of salary dump with the team already being as good as it is. And Fleury played well. Obviously, Leonard's a capable enough starting goalie, but Fleury played well in the playoffs, which he normally doesn't do. Yeah,
Leonard's great.
I mean, not for nothing, the crazy contract today was, did you guys see what Philip Grubauer got from the Kraken?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
He's their franchise goalie,
yeah.
though. He's the franchise goalie, though.
I guess that's the answer of why they didn't.
They could have got Carey Price for free.
Philip Grubauer had one good year. That's all he's had, and you're going to throw $10 million
They had
at him? Like, that seems
absolutely, and they could have gotten Carey Price for free in the expansion draft. The same guy that took you all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals.
I get it, but Carey Price is also injury prone.
That's fine, but you got him for nothing. Why get Grubauer? Why get Grubauer when you're giving him a huge contract when you could have
didn't give up anything for Grubauer? You just paid him.
You paid him when you could have saved that contract and just gotten Carey Price. He's more
Kraken
affordable.
are a playoff team. The Kraken are going to be a top.
I'm just saying, who's better, Grubauer or Carey Price?
Right now,
not for nothing, Tyler. We're all looking at that roster and saying the same thing that you're saying, right? That they're not going to be very good.
No, they are going to be. They're going to be very good.
No, they're not.
Right.
Kraken?
Kraken?
No, they're not.
They got a top pick of everyone's most.
Oh my God, they're terrible. Oh, that is terrible.
But everyone looked at the Vegas roster and said the same thing.
They're going to go on a deep playoff run. I guarantee it.
They're not. That team is not.
The expansion draft is so unfair to teams currently in the league. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, Speedy. You think that's a good team?
No, I don't think it compares to Jeff. To your point about the Vegas, Vegas got guys like Jonathan Marchessault and Riley Smith right away and Alex Tuck, who was Minnesota's top prospect at the time, one of the best in the league. Yeah, there were some random ones too, Jeff, but a lot of these guys are random.
And none of those guys are as good as Yanni Gord is.
That's true. Yanni Gord is special.
No, none of them are as good as Yanni Gord. But again, also Vegas got random guys to work too. And again, Fleury was a big name goalie, like Aaron was saying with Carey Price.
But he wasn't a big name when Vegas got him.
Who?
The Penguins gave up on Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, but he was still a lot better of a goalie than what was available for what was available
the Penguins
now.
Did not give
Now,
up on
if like Aaron was saying,
yes, they did. They absolutely did.
No, they didn't. They had a salary cap crunch, so Fleury was the guy to go because if you go back and remember, Matt Murray beat him for the job in the playoffs last year.
Right. Yeah, it was inevitable he was going to get traded, but that doesn't make it a bad move on Vegas's part.
So if you have a guy making $1 million that outperforms the guy making $9 million, you get rid of the guy making $9 million.
I'm not saying the Penguins did the wrong thing.
Right,
I'm just saying
which also means what? The organization gave up on you.
No, that's not giving up. That's moving on.
That's moving on from money. No, he's right about that. But I'm not saying that's not necessarily a downside for Vegas that needs that big name, that startup type goaltender when the goalies are very hard to develop. Ben just said Preds are in talk to send defenseman get Eric Goodbranson to the Pens. Just announced. Okay, depth maybe, but he didn't play well last year. So good luck with that, Ben.
He's a big Penguin fan, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
So.
You need all the defensive depth you can in the world, Ben.
Another trash town, Pittsburgh. That team should have folded up and left that mouth-breathing city. Horrible. What does that city have? Nothing. Primanti sandwiches and Oakmont Country Club, and besides that, it's nothing but trash. just a whole city of Jack Daniels drinkers.
What has Jack Daniels ever done to you?
It's trash alcohol for trash people.
Good thing I drank all mine.
Oh man!
Right, you poured it right into the trash bin.
So when's Jack Eichel going to trade it?
Right, that's exactly my point. You poured it into your gullet. That trash.
Are we going to know Friday?
Who?
Jack Eichel. When are we going to know he's going to be traded? Is there anything said?
No.
Are they giving a due date if he's going to be traded or not?
No, I didn't hear a due date. And plus, I'm sure the Sabres are going to try to push the offer as much as they can.
At this point, you've known they've been trying to move him for a while, like
a year and a half.
Right, but at what point do we have to say either the Sabres are asking for too much, which is entirely possible, or maybe these teams don't really want him? Like normally, when a guy like this comes available, they give up the whole world to get him.
He's also injured every other week, so it's hard.
This is what I'm saying. More people, maybe teams have concerns about the injuries and stuff.
Oh, that neck problem.
It's not going to happen.
I'll tell you this, and I know this. He has the same disc problem in the same disc area as me. I'm not an athlete.
Not according to Rob Ray.
Well, I know, but whatever Rob Ray, and we'll get Rob Ray back on the show because we had him on the show. But to me, if it's true about his disc problem, it's a significant injury. He'll never be the same player, especially when he gets the surgery. He just won't. Not as an athlete. He'll be fine. He'll be 100%. But even Peyton Manning, you can ask Peyton Manning. He was never the same quarterback. Never. So
yeah, on all the teams that,
and he's young.
Yeah,
he's young. This kid's young. I mean, Jack Eichel, how old is he? 24.
24.
Yeah,
he's a kid. I mean, and he has this injury. I would not. If I were the Rangers, I stay far, far away from.
I agree with you.
Agreed.
I don't want him.
And a lot of the teams that Tyler was mentioning, the Kings, the Ducks, and the Rangers, they're all like young teams all at once where one player is not going to make them a championship team right away. Minnesota, I guess, is the one maybe that could have, but again, even they're kind of borderline. They're kind of, I agree with you. They're kind of borderline, but they're like, at least we know they're going to be a contender type team if they get Eichel.
All I know is that the one guy from Buffalo, the Rangers should have went and got, just went to a team that.
My question is, the Rangers have all this money. Why haven't they went out and they brought the player?
Rastalainen absolutely should have been the guy the Rangers got.
The Rangers have traded away pieces, traded away players, and they had all this money, and they have nothing. They did nothing so far in this open.
A lot of the money is going to go to keeping Shesterkin, keeping.
Yeah, but they still have. They don't have to pay Shesterkin for another year, right?
No, he's a restricted free agent now.
Yeah, but he's not unrestricted, so they can hold on to him and just extend him for a year. They don't have to give him a full big contract.
He's the franchise goalie. Just lock him up now. Get that out of the way.
Ben says that Wisconsin doesn't have a hockey team. Lemieux was my man growing up. Snug says
I believe the greatest hockey player I've ever seen.
Snug says Jack Daniels effed me up one time, and I haven't spoke to Jack since. Ben says Snug, I'm
so
the same.
You can't control your alcohol, so you gave up on Jack. Jack gave up on you.
Ben says Snug, I am the same with Goldschlager. Snug says I also love the Jaeger, but it never loved me.
Jaeger bombs, yeah, Jaeger bombs. That's
Wisconsin doesn't have a hockey team because they can't convince people to move to Wisconsin. What a trash place that is. when the
cow tipping's their sport, you leave them alone.
When the best representatives of an entire state are Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey, you have a problem.
JJ Watt would love to have a word with you.
This show wouldn't be bad. This show, every time Jeff calls, this show wouldn't be any good if he didn't have his craziness. Oh my God. Everybody's trash.
Have you seen those people in Manitowoc? Jesus.
Manitowoc.
What is not in the water in Wisconsin to make those people look like that?
Isn't that the home of the beer, like the breweries over there?
Yeah, plenty of them.
Yeah,
that's why the beer.
Yeah, they say that it's like the best place to go for breweries.
Yeah,
beer
will do that. Beer will screw you up.
No.
Snug says, well, Wisconsin does make a pretty mean cheddar. And then Ben with an eye emoji says, that's my hometown.
So there you go, Jeff. Ben.
See? Ben has to be one of the ugliest humans on the planet. I watched all of those episodes, or all 16. I even watched the second series. I haven't seen one bangable person in Manitowoc County. Jesus, what a group of mouth-breathing ogres they are.
But aren't you a mouth breather too, Jeff?
Should they film if they make another Shrek movie? Should they film it there?
Hey,
unbelievable! Are you kidding?
No, I love Shrek. Jeff's proud of ogres.
One dude. That's literally what it is. Those people are so ugly. It's literally the scene where Shrek stands at the edge of the swamp and goes, "Dear fairy tale creatures and other uglies." That's what that whole thing is. Horrible place. Horrible.
Oh boy.
Horrible.
Any other horrible places that you want to mention tonight?
So many.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is there any places that you actually like outside of where you live?
Boston,
and where you grew up.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode
Island's a nice place.
I actually like Rhode Island.
Rhode Island's a very nice place.
It's very expensive.
We should take this show on the road to Rhode Island.
Not a bad idea.
See?
Not a bad idea. You should do the road show. Do it in every different city except for Pittsburgh and Manitowoc.
No, I want to go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's where the fans are. My people in Pittsburgh, come.
Terrible. Pittsburgh. Gross. The sun has never come out in Pittsburgh. That's why those people look.
No,
like
it's always sunny in Philadelphia, though.
Philadelphia, another trash
Speedy,
town.
you can put me
throwing
through.
snowballs
No, I'm not
at
in.
Santa Claus.
I am in.
No, you're not.
I'm in.
I don't see you.
Well,
I see both of you.
I'm in. It says I'm in. It says you are not in the stream yet. Click audio. That's what it says. I don't know. Anyway,
Lost Daryl.
Anyways, Jeff, thank you for calling, man.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. I didn't know you had people from Manitowoc watching. They shouldn't.
Well,
what did the town of Manitowoc ever do to you?
They gave us making
The Beeve?
of a murderer.
No.
Dude, the Beeve's another horrific person. Jeez.
Well,
he looks like he smells like eggs and onions, like a Denny's.
Denny's is not a great place to go.
You're so fucked up.
Denny's
You
is
really
not,
are.
Denny's
You're
is not
so
a great
bad.
place to go.
You're so bad.
No, yeah.
You know where I want to go? I want Long Island to get a Waffle House.
Really?
No,
Why?
Waffle House is gross too. Are you kidding me?
No, the Waffle House is great.
A Waffle House?
A waffle, not a
No,
Waffle
Waffle
House.
House, the restaurant.
The Waffle House. The Waffle House.
What makes waffles so great?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Dude,
nice,
do you know
it's fresh, it's
do you-
soft.
Do you
hot
literally know
syrup.
that that's the
Sounds like a woman.
That's the punishment for us,
Yeah.
for like my buddies that live down here. That's literally our punishment if you finish last in our fantasy football league.
Going to Waffle
Oh, you
House?
have to. Oh, you're one. You have to like sit in
We're going
Waffle
to
House for like
Denny's.
24 hours or whatever. Yeah, I've seen that on Twitter.
That's what we do. That's what we do for our league, right? Like, if you finish last in our league, you have to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House.
Yeah.
But hold on, but you get 1 hour taken off of that time for every waffle you eat.
Oh, I would eat 12 waffles.
Yeah, it's 24 to get out of there, dummy.
How? Every
24
hour. out of the day.
hours.
Right, but it takes you about an hour to
So
eat
you're
a
gonna sit in
waffle,
there
so
for 12
minus
hours?
12 is 0.
Dude, and those waffles are gross.
Oh, they're freaking delicious.
I mean, dude, how many people you know can eat 24 waffles?
No,
Tyler.
No, I really can't. I'd probably eat 1.5.
I like waffles, but I like Eggo waffles. That's the only waffles I like.
They're not even real waffles. guy.
That's the waffles I eat.
I agree with you. I like Eggo waffles too, but
That's
compared
the
to the
one.
Waffle House,
I don't like Waffle Houses. I've been to a bunch of Waffle
I
Houses.
think you've had bad Waffle Houses.
No, I've been to many Waffle Houses. I've been in Florida. I've been to Atlanta.
The
I've
one
been
in Philly is
to.
great.
I actually went to a Waffle House
Or
in
Jersey.
Toronto.
Oh, see, that's your problem.
I've
You
been
like
all
Canadians, cool.
Tyler. I've been to almost every single state, and
I
I've been
get
to a lot of Waffle Houses. They're not good. I mean, the best Waffle Houses are probably in the city. I mean, in New York.
Oh,
I mean, and
that's
that's
better.
That's just like if you guys are doing a fantasy football league, maybe you guys could do something similar. Like whoever finishes last in your league has to go to the Bees house and watch all 3 Cowboys Super Bowls with them.
Oh God.
I'll die.
Josh Brent has to drive him there.
I mean, think about it. Can you imagine how awful it would be to go to the Beebs house and have to watch the 3 Cowboys Super Bowls with him?
Jeff, tell Tyler your Josh Brent driving school origin.
Oh, that's the name of my fantasy football team, the Josh Brent Driving School.
Why? Why?
Do you know
Do
who
I
Josh
wanna
Brent
know?
is?
No.
Do you know who Josh Brent is?
No.
He's the cowboy that flipped the car and killed his teammate.
Oh shit. Yo, that's
Yeah.
what is your Jeff? That's terrible.
Yeah, the Josh Brent Driving School. That's what my fantasy team does. It'll mess you up.
Apparently, they'll kill you.
Oh, Jeff.
Oh, man.
Snug says Ogreville is just down the freeway, Trollville. Jeff, you could also add Dallas to the cities that you could skip.
Yeah, Jeff.
Dallas is actually a good city. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's a nice city.
Yeah, well.
Jeff, it's a nice city. You've been to Dallas, right, Jeff?
Dallas is fine. I mean,
That's a nice city.
Listen,
I like it.
It can be okay. I got a buddy that lives there that sends me clips every day of people fighting in the street.
Yes.
Doing dumb.
Yes.
I mean, it can be a rough city, though.
Yes, it is.
It can be a rough city.
Oh, it definitely is. So is Houston. I was in Houston, and there's certain. I think Houston is more dirtier than Dallas. I mean, Houston's disgusting.
There's very few cities that I've been to that don't have
of course,
a bad area.
Of course.
Like for the most part, Nashville is like almost nice almost anywhere you go.
Yeah, Nashville is real.
Nashville,
Tennessee.
Nashville.
I know where I would. You couldn't pay me to go to that freaking dump.
Nashville's great, bro.
Oh yeah, just the #1 gun violence.
The Beef's going there for a bachelor party.
Well, the Beef
his cousin
Nashville is not the #1 city in the country for gun violence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
Isn't it Florida, right?
No, wasn't it Flint, Michigan, Jeff?
Something with Florida, right?
I thought it was going to be like Chicago, but you want to know, not for nothing, Gary, Indiana is pretty dangerous.
Yes.
Well, just rename it something else, like Garina.
Yeah, that'll change everything.
Beeve, Indiana.
Now, Jeff, here's the real question: is there a lot of air pollution in Dallas from, as you like to say, the mouth-breathing Cowboys fans?
Dude, like, honestly, I'm dying to go back there just so I can use that, the only 2 teams in the league without a logo are in the NFC East.
Who goes #1 in the NBA draft tomorrow?
Cade Cunningham.
Really? Second?
Yeah.
Who goes second?
Evan
Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs?
It should be Jalen Suggs.
Okay, well, how about
Evan
third?
Mobley.
How about third?
Mobley.
Suggs.
Really?
Yeah, I agree with Jeff. I got Mobley too.
So you got Cunningham, Mobley, and Suggs.
Yeah, those are my top 3 and Jeff's top 3.
What do you think of those players? Do you think all 3 of them are going to be stars in the league?
I mean, that never really kind of works out.
I'm just asking you if you.
I don't think Mobley will be.
I think Cade Cunningham is sure of a prospect as there is.
Big men now are a dying thing.
Really, you think? So you think Cade Cunningham is a short?
Cade Cunningham's special. Special.
Well, why do we not like Mobley? Mobley's a good shooter, good passer for his size too. I think he's a very good prototypical NBA big man now. Yeah, they're harder to find, but I think he fits the bill.
But I think that you're wrong. I think he's not the prototypical big man, because the prototypical big man now is like Porzingis that can shoot threes, and Mobley can't do that.
No, but he does a lot of other things.
Porzingis,
he's not just a traditional rebounder, though, too.
No, right. That's why I say he's more traditional. Like, he's more like a DeAndre Ayton kind of type. Not, maybe not as dominant or whatever, but that's his.
I think he can be. I loved Ayton out of the draft. I think
Ayton
he can
stinks.
be. I think he can be more dominant than Ayton.
Right,
He was just the third best player on a team that won the finals.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of DeAndre
What I'm
Ayton.
saying, though, is, Speedy, you don't see DeAndre Ayton pulling up from the logo to shoot threes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, he doesn't have to
who
on
does?
that team.
Steph Curry. You know why? Because he's the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Steph Curry, he's the baddest man on the planet.
No,
That's
he's
what I'm
not
talking
even
about.
close.
I mean, now you're just doing it to get under Errol's skin, and I kind of like it.
It's not even close.
Well, there's one, Jeff. There's one thing.
Chef Curry, I think we call him.
There's 3 things that happen.
Chef MVP.
There's 3 things that happen every show. You take a shot.
Unanimous MVP. I take that.
There's
Why don't
3
you stick
things.
your finger in your ass?
There's 3 things that
I
happen
would, but
every
we're on
show,
camera.
Jeff. You take a shot at the Cowboys. Tyler take a shot at Aaron Boone, and Errol take a shot at Steph Curry.
I mean, dude,
Aaron Boone's in
right, but Errol's is a little off base because Steph Curry is a pretty good player, right? My shot,
Pretty good.
at
He's
the
top
Cowboys
5.
is
He's not a top 5 player.
No, your shot at the Cowboys is my favorite one of the 3, no question.
right, but my shot at the Cowboys is warranted because their
I'm sorry,
trash
Chattanooga.
fan base, their trash fan base doesn't know that their team stinks.
Oh, they're
You know what I'm
18th
saying?
now,
Like,
Nashville.
Ben says Cunningham, Green, and Mobley. That's his 3.
Yeah.
I like Green.
I'm
I
sorry.
like Green.
Oh, I forgot
Nashville's now
about Green.
the
Yeah,
18th
Green would
highest.
be nice too.
I like Green a lot.
He's probably my number 4. I forgot
Hello?
about him. What'd you say?
Nashville is the 18th most crime-ridden city in America.
Okay.
Oh wow, Anchorage, Alaska's 13. That's interesting. Never would have thought that. Well, you're looking at
Oh, Milwaukee is 10th.
Milwaukee is 10th now.
Albuquerque, near Mexico.
All right. Well, you could do that. I'll read more of the
Cleveland,
comments.
Ohio is tied with Little Rock, Arkansas. I guess they're doing the Rock in Little Rock.
Snug says maybe
Springfield,
we could
Missouri.
deport the beef to Montauk.
Baltimore.
Waffle House is
Memphis.
just Memphis.
Memphis is 3. St. Louis is 2. And number 1.
Oh, Detroit. Okay.
Detroit.
Detroit's
Well,
number 1. That makes
sometimes
sense.
things are just too simple.
Snug says Waffle House is just the place for teams to get together and fight on a Friday night. Snug says treat yourself.
100%.
Snug says treat yourself and try the organic waffles, and Kenny can cater the event.
Oh God.
Beef is going to Nashville to marry his cousin.
Who said that?
Snug. And then
Snug, I love
Snug rounds it out naturally when Steph Curry does it because of the can. Behold the power of the because he can. Behold the power of the shimmy.
Yeah,
I love
like
when he
you
does
know,
1, 2, 3. And
Yeah, Snug is an absolute gentleman. I have no idea why Errol takes shots at him all the time.
I don't know
He's
either.
not very smart.
I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Dude,
I think Snug is the best
like,
caller we have.
Like, yeah, Snug is
No
an
offense,
absolute gem of a human being. No offense. You're my.
I was going to say I don't think you
favorite
get
host on
offended by that.
I actually am very upset. Snugs has yet to call me back and welcome me back, and it's kind of upsetting, but whatever. We can't all have our cake and eat it too.
I think Snug should do that for sure. It's been a while since Friar Tuck has been on the show.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Friar Tuck. All right,
I don't know who
Jeff.
that is, so I don't know why it's so funny.
All right, Jeff. We'll let you go, man. Thanks for calling.
You should look up a picture of Friar Tuck. It'll be fun.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
Thanks, Jeff.
You should have stayed on so I can curse you out after I see why. I just call it Friar Tuck.
He's still on.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He's off.
Oh, there you go. Wow, what a show.
Friar Tuck.
A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, back and forth banter. Exactly what I expected.
Fuck you.
Are you laughing because it looks like you?
No. Oh.
You
This
laughing
is
at
going to get edited out, right?
No.
Nah, fuck you, Jeff. That's great. Sorry. It's
Yeah.
called Loudmouth, right?
Yeah.
Well,
There you go. Well,
Oh,
what a first show with Tyler back on
Oh,
the
that was
show,
funny.
full time. Wonderful. I'd like to thank all the listeners. Jeff calling.
you
I
see this,
snorkeled.
Jeff? Thank you.
All the
some Jack
listeners,
Daniels.
everybody listening to the show. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Oh.
3-hour show. Speedy, we have any guests tomorrow?
No.
What's going on with Ben?
I haven't heard anything yet from Ben. I'll check in because we were trying to get Dave Damashek on either at beginning of August or right around now. So we'll try for that as well. He'll probably come on soon though, maybe next week or the week after or something.
All right. We got to start pushing out and bringing in more guests. So that's something that we need to do. Anyways, that's it for our show, ladies and gentlemen. We will be back tomorrow. I'm sure we have a lot to talk about. We got through a lot in a lot of time, but we have a lot to talk about tomorrow. We will get into
live
more.
NBA draft.
We have a live
coverage, too.
NBA draft coverage. I'm going to see if I can get some maybe an extra NBA player to come on the show. Greg Anthony is somebody I have a connection with. Greg Anthony. Maybe we can get Greg. I don't know if he's going to be at the draft tomorrow, but maybe we can get Greg Anthony on. So, anyways, that's it for our show. We will be back tomorrow. Remember, you can listen to our show every single Wednesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. only on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Again, this is Errol Marks, Speedy Petey, and Tyler Harrison saying good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.